Hello, and welcome to the Game Informer Show. I'm your host, Andy McNamara, and today we have so many amazing things to talk about. Amazing. And I have amazing panel here today. Dan, the Jacket Tack.
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
The jacket's looking fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, you know what? One of the things I'm excited about? I feel like the jacket has stuck. Like, I feel like you now have this nickname whether you like it or not.
I lean into it. So
you're leaning into it? So you're not mad? You're not mad about
at
it?
all. Let's go.
All right, that's great.
Let's go.
That's great. All right, that's excellent. And
it's
also,
like either Rod Roddy or Matthew Lesko with the doll. I can't tell which one it is, but I'll figure it out.
Also, Jeff Cork. How are you doing, Jeff?
Hey, doing great. How are you?
Oh, welcome. It's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be on the show.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It has been a while.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now
excellent.
I'm here.
Yeah, all right, we're doing the NPR voices again.
Absolutely.
And Leo Vader, it's great to have you on the desk today.
Hello. That's my Mark Wheat.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to
Dog's breakfast.
So welcome. Good to have you. And in the box, in the booth, we have Alex Stadnick. How you doing?
I am wonderful. How about you guys?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Doing well. So we got stuff to talk. So first off, we're going to talk about Animal Crossing, and then we're going to talk about Riot's new game, Valorant, and then we're going to talk about some news stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we've got lots of questions that we'll go through in the community segment. We'll do some town building. We will do some Kiss, Marry, Kill. Because people are still sending stuff. They seem engaged.
It's
So
fun.
as long as people are enjoying it, we're going to keep doing it. So thank you very much, everyone, for sending in your questions. I like to get this out of the way early. As a reminder, if you are new to the show or old to the show, please make sure you follow us on Twitter. Everyone here is on Twitter. We have Twitter handles. Follow us. We're funny sometimes.
All the
I
time.
think Jeff
All
is
the
the
time?
funniest on
Come
Twitter.
on.
If you need a break from tweets, follow me.
no commitment follow.
Yeah. You might see me like something.
He's the best follow.
Yeah. I type a lot of tweets and then I delete them instantly because I'm like, this is too good.
By the
same
way, that's a
sensation.
skill a lot of people need to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the delete
It's
a
a good
tweet.
skill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a good skill. But more importantly, follow us on YouTube. The little bell thing. Tell your friends, share it with friends. Go, hey, there's this Game Informer show that they talk about video games, and they're kind of not the stupidest people ever. You should listen to it. There you go. I have written a script for you to bring to your friends. So you're welcome.
Can you put that on my gravestone? Not
Yeah.
the stupidest person ever.
We'll see how you maintain it.
Yeah,
There's a lot to go.
yeah. It's like we'll monitor this situation going forward.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Animal Crossing.
Yes.
It is I gotta say, Animal Crossing fans are like a cult. Are you a member of this cult, Jeff?
I really like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh boy, this is going to devolve into instantly. I kind of wish you guys were doing Valorant first because then people will get acclimated to people talking breathlessly about something. And then there's maybe other people that are just like, I don't know what's going on. I think that's what's going to happen with Animal Crossing, but
You're going to say stuff that you were just going to be completely lost on.
absolutely.
100%. Well, that's good. That's where I find myself in most shows.
Yeah.
So that's excellent.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell me about the game? So you went to an event.
I went to Nintendo's offices.
Oh,
in-
nice. Which ones? Seattle or Seattle?
It was, I think it was the San Francisco.
Oh, you went to the San Francisco one.
Yeah, which
Okay,
I'd never
okay.
been there before.
Yeah.
And there was a sign there saying if you've been in China recently, get out of here. But not in so many words. Anyway, that's my little flavored text for you.
I'm
before I
glad to
start
see
talking.
Nintendo put
Very
up a
topical.
sign to stop the virus.
It was like at shin height on the desk too. It's like I don't think anyone's gonna see this, but I did. Whatever. Anyway, I love Animal Crossing, and Animal Crossing New Horizons is on its way. And I wrote. It's kind of a weird thing. They've deployed 2 embargoes for this, right? So the initial
Can
one.
we talk about is there an embargo for the embargo?
No, I could talk about it.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
Basically, what happened is I got 2 demos, right? The first one was hands-on. I think I had 40 minutes, right? From the very beginning of the
That
game.
doesn't seem like much time in Animal Crossing.
That's juicy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Oh, no, it was not. It was like... They said you have 40 minutes, and you know for the first time you've got a character creation in a proper Animal Crossing game. I would advise you to go through that quickly. And I was like, all right. I could have blown it and spent like 15 minutes there, and then it's like, oh, you're done. But I did that, and then they also kind of skipped me ahead to a little bit later in the game than I was able to see and kind of walk around and mess around with some of that stuff. So both of those things, I can talk about it all now. You could look at GameInform.com. I've got kind of a preview based on that first meaty chunk of hands-on, right?
Gotcha.
The stuff that's kind of new is, since Animal Crossing, if you're not super familiar with it, it's basically like a lifestyle sim that you're in a village with animals, you're a little person,
Yeah.
and then the big gimmick on it is that it takes advantage of your system clock. So things happen in real time. So unlike Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon, where things are on an accelerated time frame and you're like, I've got to do my chores, I've only got so much stamina to monitor, to maintain, and I've got all this stuff to do, and then I can take a nap, and then it's the next
Continue,
day.
yeah.
This is like, if something is going to be done tomorrow, it will be done tomorrow, unless you're some kind of monster messes with your clock, which I would never even
Yeah.
consider doing. Whatever.
You're
But-
ruining the game
yeah.
experience.
So
by-
the pace of Animal Crossing games is way more relaxed and chill, which I am all about. So because of that, and the timing of the session, I got to mess around with winter, which
Oh, okay,
presumably,
yeah.
it comes out, it's going to be spring. So that was kind of fun to see what that little fleeting season is going to be like. So I got to walk around in the snow and push a snowball around, and I saw there are snowflakes that come down, and you can collect them with your net and use them for crafting. So like one of the big things this time around is crafting is a huge component of the game, right? So you're collecting materials and building things. Another thing that
So you would say it's just there's more to do.
there's a ton more stuff to do. Yeah,
okay,
they've really introduced a loop. I'm so excited. I've just
You're spilling
spilled
all
my
over
Kool-Aid
yourself.
all over the place. How embarrassing. But and one of the things as a departure is that like the first fishing pole, I had enough time to like build a fishing pole and catch a fish, which was very exciting. But the first recipe you get is a flimsy fishing pole, so it will break. I did not say it break, so I don't know how long it will last. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that does to the overall game and feel about it. If it's going to be a situation where you can catch 3 fish and then it breaks, or if it's like, oh, it lasts a long time and you don't have to worry about it. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But
I mean, you would assume that it probably has some kind of like, eventually you can have the super fishing rod that
Yeah,
never
that's-
breaks, right? Like that would be
Yeah.
an assumption you could probably
yeah,
make.
that's how it's gone in the past. Like they've
Yeah.
had like axes were the tool that would break in previous Animal Crossings. The other tools were kind of indestructible, but you could upgrade to a golden one and golden variants of the tools that had like special qualities, and like the golden axe wouldn't break.
Nice.
So yeah, it was super fun. And then I also got to mess around with like the Animal Crossing fans are really crazy. Like they got very excited when they saw that you could like lay down your own paths. In the past, you could kind of fake it by running in a certain place, and like the dirt would kind of wear down over time. But now
Over
you can
3
like,
weeks.
yeah, real time. You can like lay down like a little texture of a brick road or sand or whatever. So messed around with that a little bit, and then the terraforming is probably one of the biggest.
I saw a lot of excitement
Additions.
about like a lot of excitement about
Yeah.
the terraforming. Like there was, it seemed the cult was pleased.
Yeah, because that's like another like element of Animal Crossing games is that your island is kind of randomly generated. So depending, you can kind of reset it until you get something that fits. But there's always like some kind of little niggling, annoying thing about it where you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I could get across this easier, or this is a pain in the ass. You can build bridges now. You can have like a pole that lets you like go across a stream very easily. So it's a lot smoother that way. But also you can terraform. And I kind of messed around with that a little bit and completely like, I'm going to eliminate this waterfall. I'm just going to like pave over this stream. It's a little clunky in the same way as digging is a little bit like it's kind of finicky depending on your position, and like fishing placement. It takes a while to get used to it. So I am confident that I'll get a better handle on over time, but it was kind of weird coming up, like, because you could make diagonal edges on like a river and everything.
Gotcha.
It's very nerdy stuff again. Apologies.
No. I think that's good. I think that's good.
Yeah, but it was very finicky. And even the person who was demoing it from Nintendo was having a little bit of difficulty doing exactly what they were saying
That's
they were
the
trying
challenge.
to do.
That's the challenge. You put it in the control.
Yeah.
That's how you build
Not
up.
for casuals.
No. And then also got to go inside the museum very briefly, which in the past it felt as much a dimly lit gymnasium than
Yeah.
a museum. It was just like a giant room where all of the things you collect could be displayed. Here, things are laid out on different floors with, it looks like an actual, like a science museum.
Oh,
you see.
cool.
So it's just kind of a nice cosmetic upgrade, and it's super neat.
So one of the things I heard, one of the things that sometimes I need tasks.
Yes.
I'm someone who needs tasks. Like that was the thing about the first game. People were like, yeah, you can send your friend a letter. And I was like,
What else?
exactly. Friend, I got to get that solved first. But,
Yeah.
I was like, well, why do I want to send him a letter? Like, what is it? And they were like, because sending him a letter is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like
Yeah.
I can, like, text them on my phone and, like, it's a letter, in text form, right? And like, I was really confused by that. But I understand that this game does a better job of kind of like
Yeah.
gamifying a lot of the
Absolutely.
tasks that happen in the game.
Yeah, early on, Tom Nook, he gives you a phone, and that phone has...
See, I was ahead.
Yeah. And it's got kind of this little app in there that is like a Nook mileage program. So basically, it's kind of challenges that you can do to get miles, right? And then, like, at least in the first wave of your loan repayment, you're given a tent that you choose where you want to put it. And then in typical Tom Nook fashion, you have to pay off your debt. And in the past, you've paid it off with bells, which are like the cash. Here, you've got Nook miles that you cash in, and you earn those miles by doing things like water so many plants, or talk to everyone in the town, or just like little things like that. And I looked on the screen, and there are just a ton of them. And it seems like a real, not necessarily a concession, but I think an incentive for people who, like you, like to be guided a little more
Yeah.
than just the thrill of sending someone a letter. Yeah, because there was always like the carrot on the stick of like filling out your museum or getting all the characters that you like to move into your town, and that kind of thing, and getting the best tool upgrades. But that's kind of an abstract thing, and I think this is a nice smaller things that are like doled out more regularly. So you've always got something to shoot for that's a little more reasonable beyond just like, oh, I've got $250,000 bell debt.
Yeah,
over my
exactly.
head.
I wish Tom Nook ran whoever had my student loans, because it'd be like, give 5 compliments to Leo today, pay off $20. Like, that'd be fun debt to
You
pay
could
off.
go years without paying your student loans if you move. Little pro tip.
Oh, okay.
They will find you eventually, but yeah,
what?
you could. Yeah.
Well, this
Or
is
die.
my last GI show. I'll see you guys later.
I'm glad we're contributing to fraud. This is great.
That's not fraud. You just, they don't know where you are. That's all.
That's why, I had one of those things just totally. There was a time when they kept calling me and they were like, you owe us money. And I was like, I didn't go to college. You know what I mean? And there was a different Andy McNamara that owed money that they hounded me for a while. And I was like, no, you don't get it. That's not me. And they were like, it's you. And I'm like, no, literally. That's not me. I mean, it's me, but it's like just, our names are the same. And they would not believe that for a long time. I dealt with that. So just a little side product of your move 'em and dodge 'em.
Did you use your dumb guy voice? And then they would have been completely like, oh, okay. I'm so sorry to have bothered you, sir.
I should have tried that.
I can't read.
So do you feel like there's like that you're gonna play it more than you played the first Animal Crossing? Like, what's your gut on this?
I suspect I'm going to be playing it probably as much as I played for me, my favorite Animal Crossing was the GameCube one. That was just like, it hit in a moment in my life where I had a bunch of roommates and everyone was like super into it also.
Yeah.
So like someone was always playing, we'd leave each other letters and stuff like that. It was like, this is a really fun time in a weird way.
Yeah,
And I
that's cool.
I didn't like the 3DS one just did not grab me in the same way, just because I'm not really a portable gamer if I can avoid it.
Gotcha.
So I think having it, the Switch is the perfect form factor for this kind of thing, where it's like those 3DS maniacs can go on the go with it, and take their Animal Crossing with them, but people like me who just want to play it on a TV and relax can do that. Yeah, I suspect I'll be living there for a long time.
That's awesome. I mean, I know so many people that went to PAX. They had like a PAX event, and it was like people were going. They were like falling over in like joy from that. And I think it's really cool that Animal Crossing really like it affects people in a big way. Like
And it's a completely wholesome experience. I just love the vibe, and I think it's great. Like, one of the nicest things I've seen in a long time was the Nintendo Direct for it. Usually I can't close chat or move it off to the screen fast enough. And I was like, let's see what Animal Crossing. Everyone was losing their minds and being so positive about every little detail, and it was just like, it was just so nice.
That's magical. That's magical. That's really
absolutely.
cool.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you think is there enough there that I would like it? I'm not going to like that game, am I?
No.
Do you think
I don't think you'd like it. I think,
yeah.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I admire that people do love it.
Yeah.
I think it's super cool.
But I think that, like I said earlier, I think that there is enough in there for people who are like, it's close to something that I might be into, but it just didn't do it for me for whatever reason. I think this could be the one.
Push some new people into
Yeah.
it. Bring in new to
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
I definitely fall in that camp.
Okay, so you never really stuck to the first ones, Alex?
I've never even played them. They just like you, Andy. I was like, I don't know what the point of this is, but it's hitting at the perfect time in my life where I'm away from my like home gaming experience a lot. So like at night playing that game, just like relaxing, being outside and taking it with me. Like I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Especially with it coming out the same day as Doom Eternal. I just binged like the 2016 Doom. And I love it, and I'm so excited for Eternal, but I need something to counteract that much murder on such a personal level.
Shot chaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. How about you guys ever Animal
Yeah,
Crossing?
I play Animal Crossing. I like it. I'm not like I.
No comments. Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, yeah, it's I'm gonna play it probably because I have a Switch. I might as well use it, right?
Yeah.
Like it hasn't gotten dusted off since Pokemon. And
Wow.
It's not that long ago, by the way. Pokemon's not that
okay,
long
yeah,
ago.
but before that it was like nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
Nothing.
fair.
That's
This
the only
house is
game,
really
pretty
dusty,
much.
too.
Yeah.
I do like the systems in those games. I find it funny that like I just treat it sort of like an MMO kind of thing. It's a grind to get the best stuff. Like you don't have to treat it as a town builder if you want to treat it as something else. Like so he's like, yep, I need get that ultimate fish. So we need to keep making better poles. We need
Yeah.
to, just
Did you
chop
j-
wood and make
did-
things.
Did you juice the world clock?
I have never, I've never juiced the world clock.
Yeah.
That is not. I prefer to play all games by their rules.
Yeah.
No cheating.
Oh.
Right on.
Yeah.
But wait,
Fair and square.
this is the thing I'm just noticing here. You travel a lot for us
do.
and work. You
do.
don't take your Switch with you and play it
do-
on planes?
I find this baffling myself, but no, I don't.
Why not?
When I'm playing, I'm like, I'll just like watch a movie and go to sleep.
Fair enough.
You know?
I mean, yeah, everyone knows themselves. I mean, that's that,
Or God
that's-
forbid, maybe I'll start typing up an article. Hey,
Hey.
Let's not start working around here, okay?
No. He's like Jeff Garland on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He just sits in the plane, doesn't do anything, just
Stares in the
don't even
distance.
read?
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
I did have
Just
a flight.
relax.
One flight that did happen to me one time, Cork, where there was my movie player didn't work. I didn't bring a book. And there was no internet on the flight. So it was literally
God.
just like oh my God, can I force myself to go to sleep? I just got up.
Can I finish the
Nope.
Sudoku in the magazine that someone's done half
Oh,
of?
and the magazines are the worst. They don't even try anymore since there's so many other forms of entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, there's one Sky Mall, and I'm like, okay, these used to be fun to read.
Yeah.
And it's like there's only like 2 pages of stuff. I'm like, there's a bonsai tree and a Zen garden and
The
that's
terracotta
it.
Yeti?
Where's everything else? Yeah.
Front yawn?
Did anyone that looked like a sky marshal move closer to you on that flight as you
Not.
stared into the distance? Maybe.
I just kind of like laid down on the side of
Okay.
it and just tried to space out, but I
Collapsed
didn't.
in despair.
It was like, how can all of these things go wrong on the
Yeah.
same flight? Now I always have what I call the backup book.
Yeah.
I'm never going to read this book, but it's
but it's
there.
in your bag.
It's waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What book is it?
Currently, it's a Stephen King book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's the Backman Books collection,
Oh, okay.
which I have actually read already.
Yeah.
So that's the weird part. I'm going to go
Yeah.
back and read something I've already read, just in case.
Yeah.
It's an emergency. In case of emergency, read book.
Yeah, getting it on
Yeah.
has not aged well, that
Or-
particular one.
Or you could
That's-
bring your
that one-
Switch with you. I just want
That's
to
a
point
good
that out.
point.
You know
I just
what?
want to point that
I'm
out.
gonna
You
give
could
it.
bring your Switch
I'm
with
gonna
you.
give it the try, and I'm gonna be that weird guy on the plane who's like, check out my animals. You guys see this stuff? Do you guys see my village?
You know what? If you in that jacket, if you just started talking randomly to people about Animal Crossing on a plane, that would be amazing.
I mean, it would work.
I think it
All
would
right,
be.
I'll videotape that.
Especially if you moan like
Yeah.
that. Good Lord, man.
Yeah,
We'll get that on the GI show. Be like, hey, what's up? You like animals?
yeah. If you want to see that yourself, do a search for
I'm
on
really into
YouTube
animals. I've got an animal town. You want to see?
Yeah. Airplane freakout.
There you go. We can start a
Jacket.
whole new series.
Trapped on the plane.
Yeah.
We're brainstorming right here. This
Yeah,
is
we are.
new GI content coming
this
soon.
is really, really great content. We are the kings of great content. Leo, do you play Animal Crossing?
I haven't in the past. I'm always interested in games like that that offer something relaxing and a little more peaceful.
Yeah.
I've been really in love with Stardew Valley lately, and I'm not sure if Animal Crossing will pull me away from that.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of the sweet spot of like I'm building something and getting rewarded, but it's very self-driven.
Yeah.
But also there's no rush to do things.
Yeah.
So Animal Crossing might be hitting at the right time, but also I'm in the throes of Stardew Valley right now, and they would fill the same niche
Yeah.
in my life, you know.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the social media that's going to blow up with Animal Crossing when someone like, oh my God, it's this holiday and they did it in Animal Crossing.
They did it. I caught a butterfly.
Every time, it's the excitement and it echoes throughout the land. It is quite.
I know you're trying to peel up, but one last thing. I think it's interesting that this one they're doing like updates that include the holidays. So even if you were trying to juice the clock a little bit, like.
Oh,
they
you
don't have
can't
the
see 'em
content.
early.
It's not going to be there. It's like,
Oh.
hey, happy December 25th, I guess.
You
I don't know what this is.
You can't hack some Halloween loot early because
Right.
it's not in.
Exactly.
Smart.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
I'm kind of into it too.
You don't want those Animal Crossing hackers to get what they want.
Exactly.
They're the worst. All right, excellent. Well, that's exciting. In other news, Valorant, Riot, the Project A, what do they call it?
Yeah, Project A, Project Ares, where its previous
Previous
known
names. Been worked on for a long time. I mean, we've joked about Riot making another game for, I don't know, 5-6 years. It's been a long time.
And they've
It's
been
been
iterating on games forever.
Yeah.
And they've had products they haven't pushed out. So this is really great that finally things are starting to come out.
Yeah, and they announced like 4 all at once or 5
Yeah,
all at once.
it's 4. Yeah.
And so
It was like on midnight on a Tuesday or something random.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. I was in a hotel room and we were just covering another game, and it was like,
Dan, put up this news.
That was what I was like.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
But this one's actually, at first, when they first did that, I was like, okay, great. You announced them. We're never going to see anything more on this. But they've actually been very quick on this. And now this game actually has a name, which is Valorant, which is, we've been mocking. I mean, I've been mocking, to be honest. I mean, because it feels like we're in a name drought where Valorant is what we've come to. And it'll stick on eventually, but it sounds a little...
Sounds like women who are pregnant or might possibly become pregnant should avoid Valorant.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Talk to your doctor before taking Valorant. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's got video games are hitting a lot of that. Like we're trying to make up new words so they can make sure they can get all the social media and stuff for it. And there's some sameness to game names I feel that's come down the pipe. And I'm
Making
not
up
trying
a new word is still better than going with like Legends of Runeterra, for example. That's
another
like
one that they have.
Legends
Yeah.
of. Come on.
But I mean, I don't think it's going to matter. Riot knows its audience, and they're really leaning in which this one in particular, if you don't know, this game is like essentially. Let's remember that League of Legends was not the first MOBA,
No.
right? They were playing Heroes of New Earth, and they were like, we really like this game.
Well, it was Dota, right?
Yeah,
Dota
Dota,
on Warcraft
well-
3. And then Heroes of New Earth and League of Legends came out pretty much at the same time.
Yeah.
They're various runs of beta. So Heroes of New Earth, for a long time in the MOBA community, which I was definitely a huge part of at that time. In fact, I used to write for MOBA websites and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
I'm not going to get into
wow.
backstory here, but Heroes of New Earth versus League of Legends was the big clash back when
big
people started
clash.
moving away from original Dota in Warcraft 3.
Okay, gotcha. So, but these guys loved that game. They loved that kind of game, so they made League of Legends, and they innovated and they came up with good and interesting ways to do an already established genre. And they're kind of doing the same thing now, which is against, I would say, CS:GO meets Overwatch.
And that's if you want to put it in an easy box, that's the box.
That's the box because it's a hero-driven,
And like
competitive shooter.
And it's not even like it's crazy how similar it is to Overwatch in terms of like character structure. We'll get into some differences though, because it's definitely got that CS stuff going too, which is great. At least I'm interested into that aspect. The Overwatch stuff is like, hey, we've got these good guys and bad guys, and they've like formed a group, and they're all from different countries, and they all have their own personalities. It's like, man, that's really close to home.
That is really close to home. Well, I think they're not afraid to borrow ideas and try to
Inspired by.
is
what we like to say here, right?
Inspired by.
As made famous by.
Then again, Blizzard didn't invent the idea
No,
of
they did
not invent the hero
people
shooter.
that came from places.
No.
They did not.
Are you sure?
They may
I
have.
mean, they may have.
They may have.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no,
You're right.
I think it's kind of old video game cliches all kind of mashed
Sure.
together. But I think the similarities to CS:GO is the most interesting because I think to some degree they are going after Valve and the CS:GO community because it's 25 rounds, they're quick 1-minute rounds.
Yep.
It ends
One
up
death.
one death. The guns are all very lethal. Gameplay is like dangerous. Even the addition of
It's like you start with your knife, you run around with your knife, you swap to your AWP, you blow a guy down the corridor, and then you have the Overwatch abilities. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, but when I was looking through the abilities, you see a lot of them they're more like I don't know, technical abilities instead of like kill abilities. There's some kill abilities
Yeah,
too,
they're denial of area.
Yeah,
type
yeah.
things,
They're like, can I get some intel on where the other team is? You know, kind of things like that, like using a corpse to find out where everybody is in the other team, or like shooting an arrow and getting intel on the area around it. More useful abilities that like sort of let you play with your weapons better instead of just being like, I'm going to shoot a fireball or make a wave.
Yeah, they're trying to introduce more tactics to just the shooting and throwing grenades of CSGO.
Right.
But it does have that similarity once again, which we will be repeating many times if you haven't caught on, like CSGO, that it's an economy in that game and in that round structure. And so you don't, it's not like Overwatch where you just have that button and you push it whenever you want. You have to add that to your arsenal and
some
use
of the
it.
abilities you
the
get all the
ultimates
time,
are, right?
And then others have to be purchased from the shop, just like the guns. So you've got a gun structure and a hierarchy where it's like, I don't want to spend money this round, I'm going to use a pistol. Or if you're really good, you're going to be like that guy who's like, yeah, I don't need to spend money.
Yeah,
I'm going to go pistol all these noobs. And, you know, and then you're going to have like the AWP in Counter-Strike is probably the most famous like sniper gun you can use, where you just hang out and DE dust at the back of the, you know.
Yeah.
Just boom, one-shot people.
It's VA Dust.
VA. Is it?
Valorant?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, really? I was like, man, I've been calling it the wrong name all these years. Man, I really need a coffee or something.
And I think like one of the things that this gameplay structure, they also did one of the things I thought was interesting is that they wanted to make it where it would work on crappy PCs.
Yeah.
Like they really wanted to make it where it's like really like as a free-to-play game, which is what it will be, that it can reach a lot of people and get a lot of people involved.
It's got to run smooth on everybody. Like you can't afford to, in a game like that, you can't afford to have that like any kind of lag, and at all. You know, it's with such a precision kind of thing.
Which leans into the whole thing of like they often say, or like the kind of like you can't make an esport. They're literally they're designing it to be an esport. Like
and
100%.
everybody wants an esport today. So you know,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how that shakes out. I do want to I can't wait to get my hands on it and play it, which won't be far away.
Yeah.
From what they say, right? Summer?
Yeah. It should be. I'm sure they'll do some kind of like.
Yeah, and it'll be. I'm sure we'll have like closed super beta and then beta 2, beta 3.
Yeah. Brian Shea went and played it. He has a thing up on our site that talks more about the game in his time playing it. He was just busy today, but we wanted to make sure we talked about it because I do think one of the interesting things I saw people like Summit 1G, who's like an old. Like, he's super excited about the game. I've seen a lot of kind of like content creators and streamers that I watch talk about this game. I think it's echoing in the communities as far as like I think an excitement level. And I love what this game is doing. One of the main things I love that this game's doing, which I know people don't like this thing, but I know people like to be mad at the Epic Store, but I love the Epic Store because it made Steam have to pay attention, right? You know what I mean? And like invest in things. And by the way, I don't think CSGO is going poorly. In fact, I believe CSGO had its most concurrent players just in the last month.
The people that love CSGO really love CSGO, and that's what they play. It's like Dota or League or any of the other like, you know, those games, right? Like if that's your game.
That's your
what you
game,
play.
exactly. And
It's always in the top 10 on Steam. So.
Always, and that's a commitment to that I think is amazing. That a game that is that old, right, is having its best times now, and I think that's a testament to how well they've made the game. So I'm not trying to say like CS:GO has, but I think it's interesting because I like the idea of competition in these spaces. I like the idea of these games kind of going after the same type of player because I think it's going to help the players in the long term, as far as like pushing them to do more for their own games.
I get what you're saying. Competition makes everything better for the consumer.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
that?
So
Yeah.
I think it's going to help.
What, do you think there are specific ways that you can see right now where Valorant is pushing it that CSGO could learn from?
I think that's a good question because I think that CSGO is not going to add hero powers, right?
No,
you
no.
know what I mean? Like they're not, right? But like they could do more graphical improvements. They could do more things to like, make the game look more modern in different ways, improve animations. I mean, I think there's things they could do that can always be pushing the game forward. I mean, they do that anyway through patches, but I think competition pushes it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be, I don't think you're going to, that's the thing, by the way, like I say this about Call of Duty a lot, is that Call of Duty is an interesting esport because they have to learn the game every year. And that's what's compelling about CSGO is that it's the same game every year.
Yep.
Like if you're good at CSGO, you're good at CSGO, right? If you're like, sure, some of the rules change slowly over time and some of the like numbers get, different variants in there. Mm-hmm. But like the core concept is there, right? And you don't have to like relearn a whole thing. And that's what League does well. That's what Dota does well. Those really successful esports, in my opinion, are like, they do their own thing. So they'll never change the core game.
Well, Dota 2 recently did change everything. So
yeah.
I mean,
but I mean, like, I still feel like it's the same one. It's
You have
still
the
the
same
same map.
the concept
it's still the
is the
same, like
same. Yeah,
5v5.
sure.
I mean, I think like, the NFL, they get rid of like how you pick
gotcha.
things. There's those different changes, but
Well, here's a question for you then. Like, if you were, hypothetically, you fell into a time tunnel like 50 years from now, and you went to the Esports Coliseum,
Yeah.
and you looked on the schedule, would you recognize the name of any of those games that would be being played 50 years from now? Do you think, like,
years?
have we reached a point where, like, esports are still so new that we haven't settled? Like, will we be seeing, like, Call of Duty, whatever number it is, or will we see Counter-Strike, whatever it is? Or do you think...
I actually, this might be a controversial answer, and I'm interested in Dan's answer
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Is that I do think there will, I think we are going to have esports drop and fail and go away and drop, but I do think that some of these early ones that I do think there are ones that have I could see CS Counter-Strike still going in 50 years myself.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
But I mean, and by the way, the other thing too, I think competition-wise, like maybe with microtransactions and how they charge people and like the way that they monetize these games, that puts them at odds with each other to maybe be better about that, which I think is good for consumer. To answer your question previously.
Oh, if they do good things with that, for
yeah,
sure.
I think that definitely is a possibility.
Is
Hope?
CS:GO free yet?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe they'll push it to be free to play.
Yeah.
To compete.
I-
Because that'll be the biggest thing it has over it at launch.
Yeah, I
Valorant
think
has
I
over
think there's
CS:GO.
still like $15 or something like that you have to get in, to
Not
get in
sure.
the door. I thought so. I checked this the other day because it came up and I looked. I mean, it could have changed at any time. We probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah.
Right,
Sure. Because we all
um,
have it in our libraries already.
Yeah, I'm bad at that game.
Oh.
Are you good at that game? You play you play Rainbow Six.
Yeah. I haven't played it in a long time. I'd probably be better at it now, but it's not really my game. The
Yeah.
fact that when you get shot, you slow down, done. Uninstalled. Terrible.
Well, Dan, do you have anything else
Yeah.
about Valorant that we got a little off track there?
50 years is a ridiculous time in terms of both human life and esports. So I think
The way it's looking, that's right.
I think the precursors to what will be there are all here, but I don't think any of those games will still be on that list in their current form or trajectory. Maybe they'll like redo League of Legends in 20 years or something. Like it'll be a completely different take on the same structure, but I don't think it'll be any of the same games.
Huh.
That's my take.
Because we'll be doing them all in VR.
At that point,
There
we'll
you
be
go.
way past VR. 50
Yeah.
years with exponential tech growth, we'll be.
Yeah.
What
It'll
is
be Tron.
wait,
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah,
Oh,
we get into our our jelly bowls.
Yeah.
Where we plug in like the
We
Matrix.
will literally be jacked in. In 50 years, we will be jacked in to play video games.
You do think so?
I do think so.
market.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
How much are you betting?
Steak?
Steak dinner?
In 50 years, sure. Let's go for a steak dinner.
Let's do it.
Is it just going to be like pills at that point?
Yeah, the
Just
aroma of
popping 'em?
steak.
Good chance to good chance to meet up with Leo in 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could bet you a lot of things. I'll probably be dead in 50 years. So like, I can bet whatever you want.
And if neither of us are married by then.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Aw, cute.
All right, we'll
talk
get the
over
steak
dinner.
dinner too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your anniversary.
But there's videos out on Valorant you can watch. There's lots of things that you
Yep.
can learn about it. It's got its own style and things like that.
Like I said, I can't wait to like play it and see how it actually feels because I used to play so much CS like way back in the day, like college LAN party kind of thing.
Yeah.
like tons of that.
And you were good because you're good at every game. We know.
I was good then. I'm certainly not good now.
Yeah.
All right. I was really good at beating up people at the LAN center, but I'm not. I can't hack it today.
In the game or at the actual answer?
But I'm super curious to see how it feels. Like just looking, I've only seen the screenshot so far, so like it seems kind of really kind of jarring to see like these weird, spacey characters with their cool abilities and all that stuff, against the gunmetal of like CS:GO. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I got my pistol and my sniper rifle, and then I also have these crazy glowing orbs. It's like I don't know. I have to see it in motion. I gotta play it.
I will say I do like the idea as someone who has I do watch CS:GO as a sport. I'm that nerd. I've watched plenty of tournaments and I enjoy them. Was that I am interested in seeing that kind of competition because I do think CS:GO has amazing competition. That adding those powers kind of hopefully my hope is that it makes interesting plays.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's
To
really
make it,
the
to
thing.
make it
like,
a more watchable game for even people who don't like understand. It's like, oh, that play was really good because he peaked at exactly the right point where he knew that player running with a knife would be at that point in the map.
Exactly. Yeah. The kind of lucky shot syndrome
Yeah.
that does happen, or the lucky grenade throw, which does happen, but. Some of that stuff will develop in that same space, but with the denial, like having them like run into zones where you can't see
Yeah.
and things like kind of space like that, I think are creating interesting plays, and hopefully they are interesting plays, and it's not just boring. And dumb.
Exactly, yeah.
And the art style certainly, I'm like, I like it. I don't know that I love it.
Yeah, I'm
I think it's
definitely iffy on
okay.
that right now. I gotta see it in motion. That makes
Yeah.
a screenshot doesn't really help me too much. I gotta be behind the character.
But I'm pretty. I think this is going to be like a thing that's going to take off. I think it's going to take off.
I mean, it's got Riot's already stellar support. They know what they're doing when they get into esports. So
Yeah, they
if
sure do.
Yeah, we'll see.
I forgive the ignorance, but as someone who's not privy to the PC Master Race, is this coming to console? Have they said it all?
No.
No, just hard no.
It's
Yeah.
it's a PC.
Let's wait and see if it's successful, and then it'll go to console. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it goes.
But
That's
there's
what-
no plan at this point.
They haven't said anything.
Okay.
No, they haven't said anything. I mean, I think that's one of those things that I think. I think Apex and Fortnite have all like benefited from being on multiple platforms. I think maybe once the game's like through, because it'll be in beta for a
We'll
while,
see.
right? It'll sit in beta for a while.
Yeah,
won't
of course.
I mean, it's going to do that thing that we kind of mock, but it'll
be the beta release for some time. I'm
early
sure.
access for a while,
Yeah.
and maybe when they get further along, it'll go widespread. But like the console versions of CS:GO never really hung around, did they?
They did not. They did not, and I think some of that has to do with the precision needed to play that, like
The kind of
to
mouse
shoot-
sports that
yeah,
it is.
exactly.
Yeah,
Some of it, not all of it, but I think some of that's a factor. But with League willing to bring League of Legends to other platforms, it does say that they're at least I'm sure that if it takes off, maybe they're exploring that idea.
Yeah, I think if people demand it, and I think the other thing too is let them know. I think that's always something like you're like, I would play your game if you would bring it to consoles.
There you go.
Compelling, right?
I would play your game if you brought it to consoles.
Oh,
I would
nice.
play Valorant. Yeah.
There it
All
is.
right, there
on
we
my
go.
little
is.
controller.
I mean, I think it seems to me like we talked about this a little bit last week, just about like in the new generation as we come towards the next generation of consoles, that I think consumers expect to be able to play it on the machine they want to play it on.
Yep.
And the way they want to play it, and with all their friends, regardless of what platform they're playing it on.
They just want to buy it once,
Yeah.
and they can play it. On
Well,
any
let's not get
platform.
too crazy.
I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
those are the expectations, and like the game industry is going to have to accept that. I think, and I think that your point is you want to play it on there, and I think they should do something to make sure it can happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Um,
Riot can scrape the money together
Yeah,
for a port.
I don't know. They're-
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Kickstarter or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
figure it out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Riot's in trouble. They're really, that money's just flying out the door.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm, by the way. Everyone thinks that we really think they got tons of money.
League of Legends is free. They're not making any money off it.
That's right.
So another thing I want to talk about quick was GDC officially closed last week
Ooh.
with
Postponed.
scares. Postponed. Thank you.
Didn't they
Thank
actually
you.
go back? Oh, okay, yeah, just postpone still.
But they said
There's been no
we
future-
hope to have it. I mean, that was I don't have the exact, but they were like, we
Like
hope
it's
to
a-
revisit this summer.
If you think
Gotcha.
about the logistics involved in getting everybody, I can't see it coming back this summer. But
There's no window
Could.
that they could slide that into.
right, what do you do with
During
that?
E3.
Yeah.
Which won't happen. There we go.
Yeah, I'm sure like everyone is going to be really excited to give a talk when their like team is killing themselves back at the office to make a holiday release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it'd be difficult. But I think they don't want. I mean, I'm guessing, and I'm not trying to be. By the way, I'm a huge fan of GDC, so please don't think this. But like, I don't think they want to give refunds, right? I think they want to try to
get
like
it.
salvage something there, so that. So that it can live on. Like I
Yeah.
think everyone wants GDC to live on, but no
Yeah.
one wanted to go to GDC and get sick.
Right. No. I want it
Right.
to live on too. I think GDC is great, and like I just don't. I think when you postpone something like that, I mean, I don't honestly see it coming back. But I hope it does.
This
Yeah.
year, right? You're talking
Yeah, I'm
this
talking
year.
about this year. Talking about
Yeah,
this year.
I mean, it'll be back in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless we're
Oh,
fighting
well,
some different
the- the
virus
alter-
or something.
The alternative is that the world is in chaos at that point.
But how about this? Do you guys think this is going to affect E3? This is just personal opinion. We know that like we're not members of the of WHO. We don't know. Like we're not here to talk about what we know. Like as far as like
So, yeah,
world
I-
health.
we're gonna get more Dan predictions here. So
Yeah,
let's-
we like it.
I'll
We
say
like-
E3 will definitely be canceled this year.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you anybody in here?
I
That's
mean,
exciting. I like that prediction.
It's bold.
Yeah.
yeah, same. I've been watching it for 20 years.
Yeah.
and I'm excited.
This was the first year I was going to get to go, so yeah, I can confirm it's going to be canceled. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I would argue that with you, but it's completely possible,
I mean, think
right?
about it. We got about realistically, we got about 2 months before. I mean, less than that, really, due to the sheer momentum and everything that it takes to put this thing together.
Yeah.
We just have the outbreaks in California starting right now. I'm not confident in the ability to contain it at a level that is reasonable that will make it so people want to go. If they're going to have to cancel it, I'm just that's
Yeah, no, that's,
Yeah.
we're looking
that
for your
is
take.
that is my take on it right now.
Also, on kind of a cynical level, like I feel like that wouldn't be the worst thing for E3 because everything leading up to this has just been bad press after bad press. So it's like maybe a year off would help that show to get their stuff together.
Or would
I
it
don't
kill
know.
it? That's the
I'm
other
in
problem
Andy's
too.
camp.
Like,
Go either way.
like a year of like losing to the virus might be detrimental.
I think it would be extremely detrimental. Like they're in a downward trajectory right now, and they need to maintain while they acclimate to new challenges.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get my
Very
business.
diplomatic.
I'm gonna get my business degree.
Plus,
But-
there's also the chance of like Ubisoft does their thing, not at E3, they do their own press conference, more Nintendo Direct style, and then that's like a huge success for them, and then they're like, okay, we don't need to go to E3 next
Right.
year. Something
Exactly.
Like that happening.
Yeah, I agree that everyone goes like we'll make these tailored videos
Right.
and everyone puts them out and they go
And that's
it
a
goes
problem
well.
for
Yeah.
E3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
definitely.
watched all and then
Yeah.
But do you think that's more detrimental if they were to put it on now and bungle it again? If people are just keep going like, oh, this is
Like I
the
said,
same.
Yeah,
I don't think they're
hard to
going to
win
be
for
given
them.
the choice here, and I don't think they're going to bungle it. It's just not going to be epic, you know.
Yeah.
The days of epic E3s are over, no matter what. I
God,
think
it bums
But Epic
me
is
out.
going.
Yeah.
that is good. That is good.
Well, I think it's what I would agree with that. I mean, I think we always have that inside baseball view on E3, which is like the outside world looks at it differently than we do.
That is
right?
absolutely true.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of excitement still around E3 for consumers and like what it means and how information gets out there. So I think we try to like go, oh, that would kill it, but I it's hard to measure
You're right.
the
Like,
the amount of excitement that the rest of the world has
to be fair,
for
yeah,
it.
everyone I talk to, like, you know, that isn't, I don't know, what do you, inside baseball or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like they think it is like the mecca of all gaming,
Yeah.
and they are super excited by it every year. They don't care what other shows I go to every year. They only ask like, hey Dan, you going to E3? I'm like, I'm going to like BlizzCon and PAX. And all this
Yeah.
other, they're like, what are those? I'm like, oh my god, really?
I mean, E3 is the one that like
Yeah.
everybody
It's the one.
knows.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is, and there's no denying that. And I think too, I've gotten so many letters over the years that someone's like, is E3 in trouble? I hope not. It's been my dream. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, it's like a dream to
Yeah.
go to E3.
Yeah.
Which
I'm sitting right here.
That's so interesting to think about.
okay, sorry.
No, keep destroying it. It's fine.
What, no one's destroying it.
Yeah.
No one at this table is
Well,
destroying
They're
your
saying
dream.
Yeah.
we've got the knife in their back and we're
Yeah.
just twisting.
Yeah.
We're twisting. I'm sorry, guys. That was not intentional. And I know because
No,
that would be
it's
your
fine.
first for both of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so adorable.
It is a big thing, though. It is like the time of year my mom talks to me about video games.
Yeah, that's
Like the time
yeah.
the bubbles merged or
true.
whatever.
Yeah, we would work out work schedules or like school schedules to watch it.
That's always when I get a call. It's like, I saw the Fortnite on CNN. I'm like, yeah.
Was that you?
So
All that equipment's super heavy, and it would have been bad to carry it around anyway.
That's a
That's
good
why you
point.
hired me, right? To
and
carry
all,
it.
and all those memories. Could my brain really handle all
Yeah.
those fun memories?
Oh,
So,
look,
like,
another awesome booth.
yeah.
I mean, I am gonna miss the videos you made of who wins E3. I know it's still on the.
King
and if
of
you have
E3.
never watched it, by the way, it's so funny.
They're
And
great.
it is. Leo is on fire, but it is also
you.
enjoying. My favorite part, and then this is horrible to say, is just how much more tired you look with each and every one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like in the
Yeah.
end, you're just like, I'm like, is somebody killing Leo back home? Does he know that like
days are brutal.
We could skip one and like he can live on? Like I don't want to kill Leo. Like
Not
let's
an
not
option.
kill him. But they're very funny and worth watching. If you haven't watched them, I'm sure you can find them with the Googler.
Yeah.
E3 Kings is the series. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was very funny.
Well, the thing too, though, is I think the E3 experience that everyone or most people have is watching live streams and coverage. I mean, those things can happen without a convention center.
Yeah.
Yep.
If everyone just kind of coordinates, and
I mean-
I'm sure that the industry could come together in some way and like, hey, we're streaming here. We'll block it all off.
How much is going to come out of quote unquote GDC? Like all of the companies that are now scrambling to get their message out some other way? Like from our perspective.
From a consumer level perspective, that show doesn't really register.
There-
honestly,
But I mean, like, as far as news we're getting out of it, previews and stuff, is that like 10% of what we would have gotten if it happened, or is most of it still happening?
I think well, a lot of news we would report on would be the talks, because they do have some really interesting discussions.
Sure.
I think the previews we go get are pretty good, and some of them are like better than others. I think games that are really want to get the message out are going to reach out and talk to us and every other outlet and get them in place. But I mean, I think the reason GDC is a great show is because it's not about the press. The press is something that they've added on to
they're just
over the
there.
years. Like, it's just like, oh, everyone's here to cover GDC. It's an opportunity for us to show them games, which we're like, great, let's look at your games, right? But I think the thing that's important with GDC that I saw some people say, and I thought was very interesting, was that the thing that's missed by GDC not happening is that game developer that gets introduced to this producer who puts them together with this other game developer, that happenstance, then all of a sudden those two get together and they make the greatest game of all time, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's like you hear that story all the time.
Yeah.
It's about developers connecting all over across the board.
And it's also a phenomenal opportunity for indie devs because they've got a really kind of outsized presence there in a lot of
Yes.
ways, and they've got their booths and everything, and then that's a chance for. I think GDC kind of has, generally speaking, kind of a chill vibe around it, where just like a huge game developer like a Legend could walk by the indie booth and can linger for a little bit and talk and experience stuff that just does not happen at an E3 type environment.
No, 100%. And it's also that opportunity, I think, too, where they recognize games that are doing interesting game development stuff.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just like flashy graphics that sells at GDC. It's people walking around that go like, how did you do that?
Right.
I can't. What are you doing? And they can ask questions and learn and apply those things, and it raises the ship. Everyone's games get better because of things like GDC, and that's the sad part about the GDC thing going away. Is that moment, or even for me as in the press or whatever, that's an opportunity where every once in a while I'm talking to someone I know and they go, hey, do you know this person? You're like, no, hey, I don't know you. What do you do? And they're like, I wrote this game, and you're like, oh my god, I'm a big fan of that game. It's an opportunity to meet people that make great games and make great entertainment that we love. So it's sad for GDC. I hope they get it figured out.
I was going to go this year and I was super excited, and then like you could kind of tell like. Boy, a lot of the plans don't seem to be solidifying right now. Everything kind of fell off, and it's fine. I kind of recalibrated, and I was going to go to a different event, and then that got canceled too. So,
yeah. And I think there's actually if you care about game developers, which we all do, I think, there's been some funds out there to help some of the indie guys who spent a lot of money to try to go to San Marino, couldn't get refunded, and some other things like that are out there to help them kind of. I mean, they make a big commitment to get to an important show like this because they want to make those connections
from all over the world, right?
And so there's things like that out there to help those people, and I think that's a nice thing if you're into that. You can find that and support those people. So all right, that's our first half of a show.
Nice.
Wow,
We did it.
Yeah,
We had a great time, didn't we?
did it. I think we did. I think we did.
All my Kool-Aid has evaporated.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. So we're gonna take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to do all kinds of fun community-based stuff. I think we've got some great questions again. Once again, you sending your questions to podcast@gameinformer.com is so cool. I love reading the comments, even if it's not a question. And giving us your ideas is always helpful. I think it makes the show better. So please, podcast@gameinformer.com. Talk to us, tell us what you think. And also, comments and follows and blah, 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 the things I'm bad at. I'm
Smashing that bell.
Smash
the bell.
Smashity smash.
Follow us and everything and talk to us. We talk back.
We do.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Only to nice people,
Wow.
though.
If you bring this kind of professionalism to the show, you're going to really ruin it for someone like me who can't deliver any of my lines on time.
I couldn't do any of this without you.
Well, we'll be right back. Hello, and welcome back to the Game Informer Show. I'm your host, Andy McNamara. I am joined in this second segment by what it appears, the same panel. What? Oh my gosh!
We just
never
happens.
It's almost like we just said we're not doing anything and then came right back. Who weird.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
Who are you people, though?
So, Dan, the Jacket Tack, how you doing?
I'm back.
You're back. You ready
Let's
to
do
rock?
this. I am.
All right, excellent. Jeff Cork,
Yes, sir.
you
Let's
doing?
do this.
you ready?
Yeah.
Ready, Leo?
Born ready.
Born ready. Alex.
Governor.
Let's go. Let's
All
get it.
right.
Let's have a great
Excitement,
show.
Excitement. We got a lot of great questions. So let's start right off. Greetings, Andy. I wanted to thank you for your thoughtful insight into the gaming world. I appreciated Ben Hansen as host. Who's Ben Hansen? Does anybody know who Ben Hansen is?
I've heard of him.
I don't know.
Bean has not?
Okay, yeah. Well, we miss you, Ben. We do. But as an older gamer, it's interesting when you discuss inside baseball concerning the game industry, which we certainly over-discuss inside baseball.
They should be very
on this
pleased,
show.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You've come to the right place. One question I have is, why does it seem like the sales numbers for games are hard to come by reliably? Am I missing something? Every time I try to find sales numbers, it looks fuzzy. For instance, I just played through Days Gone, and I thought the game was much better than generally reviewed, but I have no idea how it sold, which comes in handy as you gauge whether you are considering a sequel. In the world of movies, you can see exactly what a movie did on a particular weekend or year at sites such as Box Office Mojo, etc. Thanks in advance. All the best, Aaron. And Aaron, the reason you see fuzzy data is because video games are the king of fuzzy data. Unfortunately, I think you hit the nail around the head. Video game companies, for whatever reason, do not want to share data.
Now, sometimes they do.
Sometimes.
When it's really good.
It's really good. Yeah.
Alternatively to that, if you're looking for like a deep dive into some of that stuff, you can check investor calls. If you really want to get into the nitty gritty.
Which does get caught, but it comes out late. You don't
does,
like, I mean, that's
right.
the thing. I think the point here is that by the way, sometimes I think it's made up, but you'll be like, the new Star Wars movie's out, and they'll be like, it made $180 million this weekend, and you're like, it's Friday?
And the weekend is which days? It's all fudged so they can produce the best numbers. That's just how the best foot forward for the company, right?
It is, but we don't, a lot of times, even when they do financial calls, they hide the digital numbers. We don't know what a game in particular does. They'll lump it all together, so they'll be like, we made X dollars in digital, but you're like, how much of that was microtransactions? How much it was this game? How much it was that? I mean, the data is incredibly fuzzy.
Yeah, they do the, like, how many copies shipped versus sold, which would be like if a movie company was like, well, there are this many seats in a theater. It's being shown this many times. Therefore, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And I think one of the things in the video game world is, if video games is going to grow up, I feel, it's a personal opinion, we need to just stop hiding these numbers and be honest about how things are doing. I think it's stuff people want to know. I don't know that it's like some industry secret. I know people don't want a game to have bad numbers and like have it die on the vine. They want to hide that, but I feel like people, like when a game's not doing well, people know, right?
You can feel it.
They do know, but at the same time, they don't know, right? That's the thing.
I mean, I feel like
why?
they know.
And I think it's so an incredible passion for games and everything associated with gaming. You don't look at games like a company might look at a game, because to some people it's just a product. Like it's a box good you ship out. Yep. Right. And I'm never going to see them that way, and a lot of other people aren't either. But like the company perspective is always going to be like, okay, this isn't doing great. Let's just put a new coat of paint over that and like never talk about it again.
There's also like with movies like a layer of transparency that just across the entire industry. Like you generally have a sense, like the budget for a movie will be part of the story pre-release. You know about like marketing vaguely, like how much that's costing, and that's like a big black box for the games industry. Like, so when we see this game, even if you find the numbers, like sold this many copies, you don't know necessarily what the budget was. So something that may look like a tremendous flop could have been projected at a certain amount, and like it did exactly what they're expecting or better, you know?
Exactly.
Movies don't have loot boxes or season passes or any of that stuff.
Or can be refunded.
Yeah, I mean,
all this stuff makes it harder.
It does make it harder. I mean, I will say this, as someone who's been looking at these numbers for a long time, it has actually kind of broken me. Every single number, like press release I get, I kind of roll my eyes at. Do you guys do the same thing? Do you just like, I kind of don't take any of it seriously anymore, or am I just being bad?
That speaks to like another thing. This is probably like I'm like bad for saying this, but at the same time, like, why do I care? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do I care how much a Star Wars makes and how much, like, Days Gone, which I thought was a great game. I love that.
Yeah, you love that
game of the year. But like, I mean, I want to root for Sony Bend, and I hope they did well. But like, I don't ultimately care how many copies it sold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like a weird metric. But I know some people are really into that.
I think to some people, I think to some degree, you want to know it did well so you can expect a sequel.
You
I think
want to
they
back
want
your team.
Yeah,
too.
Sure.
yeah.
I was gonna say rooting is the key word there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. You're like, I really hope it sold enough. You know
I want
what
a
I mean?
data point so that when I say that Death Stranding sucks so hard, I have like one more thing to say.
There you go.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's a thing I think just we like as gamers, we like to like kind of have those like victory. It's like the gaming like competitiveness of it. But you're right. I mean, like what you like.
Yeah.
The game was fun. yay.
There you
Right?
go.
I
Love
mean, like that should be the simple joy of it all, right? But I will admit that I do wish there were more numbers, just because I kind of like that inside baseball to this point. I mean,
I do
I do want to have a little bit of go like, wow, that game was good. It only sold 3 million. Why? And like, so we could discuss it. I mean, think of all the dumb conversations we could have on this podcast if we had more clear numbers on how games did. I mean, a lot.
Informed ones, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I think it would be good. There's a recent thing recently where Superdata put out some numbers that they said Fortnite was going down, and they have their own ways of kind of extrapolating what they feel the value is. And Epic came out and they were like, no, you're wrong. But of course, Epic then didn't give any numbers to prove that they were wrong. So it all continues.
Yep.
This
Everybody wants to talk about numbers when they're incredible, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as they're not incredible, then they stop being talked about.
Well, it's also funny too, because it's probably in the Fortnite's case, it's like, well, last time we made $1 quadrillion,
Yeah.
and this time we only made half $1 quadrillion. Oh my god,
Yeah.
you know. So it's.
I'm just more curious, like we talked about, every other medium, like books, movies, music, they all give numbers like right away. Like Billboard gives the numbers for albums sold or whatever. Did they was it the meeting of the Godfather families where they're like, all right, this is how we're going to do this at the start, and then video games just didn't do that? Like, was there that agreed upon thing? Like, I guess I don't know why
but
that
the way
started that.
From the old retail physical days, basically, the companies would report like how many units they sold, and like a company would hold that data. At this point, it was MPD, and then they would sell that data to people so that they could make informed decisions. But it wasn't public, right? So I used to go by one of the guys who was like a buyer at Funko Land way back in the day, and they'd get this. And this is old. This is like 90s, by the way. But they'd have they'd have a binder that would have the sales numbers for every game, right? But it wouldn't be every. Just to point out how fuzzy numbers have always been. I think at that time maybe like Walmart wasn't accounted for. You know what I mean? Like kind of thing. So you're like, these are interesting numbers, and from a lot of retailers, and they would list all the retailers that MPD was reporting, but they wouldn't have Walmart, and you'd be like, okay, those are interesting, but they didn't go anywhere. And so I thought it was interesting to look at those numbers sometimes and go, oh wow, I didn't know that game did this well. That you'd see things that like maybe the mainstream like kind of gamers didn't like, that you'd be like, oh, Barbie Horse Adventure like killed it. Wow, you know what I mean? Like there was like, it was just a huge game that no one would have expected. In other cases, you would see games and you'd look at it and go like, wow, it only did 50,000. Even without Walmart, Walmart didn't sell 10 million of these things. Like that's kind of a bad rub for it. But as digital came along, they don't sell so like now I think they still get physical, but without digital or getting it from Sony or Microsoft directly or Nintendo. What is what, right? So it's even fuzzier, right?
Yeah.
Than even it was back then.
Yeah.
So
I guess I was just more asking, like, why did this medium choose that versus others? Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Because I get the sense that like movies, a lot of film companies wouldn't want to give that information if they didn't have to.
Yeah,
They wouldn't
that's
want you
true.
to know
Yeah.
Warner Bros. Like Birds of Prey was a flop.
yeah,
Yeah.
they'd want to keep it secret, keep it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably true. But yeah, it's a great question. Thank you very much. I like talking about that inside baseball stuff. So thank you, Aaron. Next up, dear GI crew, due to my job, I often have sore, strained muscles in my hands. Oftentimes, this means my hands hurt too much to partake in my favorite hobby. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but I even worry that carpal tunnel and arthritis will eventually prevent me from ever picking up a controller again. Tear, by the way.
Yeah.
That would be awful.
Yes. So my question for all of you is, do you ever think about how getting older will affect your gaming? Have you ever thought about losing your eyesight, dexterity, or any other necessary physical asset ever worried you? I love the show. I've been listening since the Matt Helgeson day. Shout out to Matt. And you guys continue to put on a great show no matter who the host is. Keep up the great work. Steve Moore, Holland, Michigan. Thank you, Steve. Great question. So we have some olds here. We have some youngs.
We do. We have
yeah.
some olds.
Do you guys ever think about that?
I am 25 and I'm going to live forever. So no.
I mean, I think with it, and I have dealt with it actually. I had an ulnar nerve disorder caused by my old World of Warcraft days. You know, just jamming on that 1 and 2 for
you were holding that W
weeks
key.
at end.
Yeah.
So at that time, I started like dialing back. I'm like, okay, I can't play like this. I'm gonna have to like get a setup that won't give me carpal tunnel. So now I have like make sure everything is very much aligned on my keyboard so that my arm's at the right angle. I also like on days like this, I've been playing something for like 12 hours a day for the last 3 or 4 days, and it's really been it's been really cramping my hands. But I find that sleeping with a splint can help a lot.
Okay.
I do that on days where I'm gonna know
You over game.
where I know that I'm gonna like just be constantly mashing buttons and hitting 1 and 2, 3. So days like that, I do that, and that helps a ton. In the long game, I figure we'll have medical developments to go along with these problems. So when I
mechanical arms
When
to
I
use
get,
my mechanical keyboard.
when they get really serious later on, I'm hoping that we'll have some improvements and developments in that area as well.
Yeah, I think it's this. I mean, I'm with you, and I have like long-term sessions. My hand will cramp up, and I go, ouch, and then I keep going because I'm dumb.
Yeah. It's not because you're dumb. It's because it's for the game, right?
It is for the game. I do have one story. Like a long time ago, when I was 25 and going to live forever, like Alex. I was talking to Jason Rubin, who's head of Facebook Gaming now, and worked at Naughty Dog for a long time. And he was like, "One day, Andy, there's going to be a company called Geriatric Gaming, and they're going to like own old gamers." And I was like, "That's that's probably true," and that's stuck with me, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think we're not there yet. But I do think someday there's going to be people that make things like when Nintendo made brain games, right? Was it
the brain training?
Yeah,
stuff?
the brain training
yeah.
stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. There's other sites that do that kind of things that help like keep concentration and other things like that. But yeah, I do think dexterity eventually. I mean, I play Call of Duty. There's people who are way faster than me in Call of Duty. Just period. And sometimes when I watch pros play Fortnite, I'm like, I can't even really watch this fast
Yeah.
enough, much less build, remove, replace at the rate that they are like building in those games, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like, there's definitely going to be some fall off, right, for
Yeah.
everyone.
Esports is a young man's game. Like,
Yeah,
there's a
it
reason
is.
it's like only
Yeah.
people like 30 or younger.
28 is the cutoff. 28, you retire at 28.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about is like playing games like Siege that require reaction time. It's like, is that something I'm just going to get worse and worse at as I get older?
Yes.
Like, that'd be just obviously the least important one of
You will,
all,
but you can still enjoy the game. You can still be good. You
Yeah.
just want to be pro tier.
Just do terrorist hunt against bots.
Okay.
It's fun and set the AI down.
And besides, like I said earlier, in the show, 50 years, we're going to have, neural jacks anyway.
Yeah,
We're
we're
playing
gonna
with
be-
our minds, so it doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
So it doesn't matter.
Your
right?
slow, decrepit.
Well, that's another
dementia
issue.
of mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
When I'm just
man.
I'm just like I'm dead, but they just put me in World of Warcraft, and I just live the rest of my life.
There's
wow.
the dream right there.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting. I've talked about this a lot. I've actually kind of begged game companies to do this to some degree, which is that like find a way to make people pay money so you get their like Visa, MasterCard, whatever, American Express, and their ID so that I can play in leagues and in multiplayer games against people my same age. I would pay extra for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that I would to be able to be truly bracketed off. Because I think I could own other people my age,
I think you can
right,
too.
in those games, and that would be really fun.
Yeah.
But
versus like that, and which I still, like, I hold my own. Like I'm not a bad gamer, but I mean, there's definitely times when I get in a match and I'll go up against some team and I'll be like, these kids are not messing around.
Yeah.
Like they are next level and like in the zone, and I get owned.
I
Like,
would
you
put
think
my
people-
system clock 40 years
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Do you think people would make fake IDs just to go like own the rest home?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, there would be people, but I think it would reduce it. I think it would reduce it, right?
Yeah.
But there would be kids who'd be like, "Dad's out. I'm gonna log in
Yeah.
Dad's account and just wreck faces."
Yeah.
Right?
I would give anything to hear the
I like this.
chat. Like the voice chat from old gamers. It would have to be the most boring thing. I think. It would
I don't
be
think so.
Just 10 concurrent long stories.
bragging on kids.
Yeah.
They're a pretty feisty bunch. I don't think that age doesn't go away with age.
A really like sophisticated form of racism, probably. Like
It has to be very
more
high
personal
class.
anecdote based than just like read it on
Oh my god.
forum.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was at the hardware store.
Yeah, they don't just go for like they don't just hammer out the words right away, right? They have
Right.
to lead up to it.
Exactly.
Right.
There would certainly be less bros said. You know,
Yeah, there would be.
There'd be certainly that. So thank you. That's a great question, and I'm glad you enjoyed the show. We have a lot of fun doing it.
Sorry about that disease that's going on with you.
Yeah, that is.
That sucks.
Yeah, thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
It's been like listen to us with no empathy, just moving on, talking about
No,
ourselves.
but for real,
Yeah.
he should have a
Yeah.
he should have a discussion with his healthcare provider and ask about solutions because they may have them. Like I didn't know that the splint was a
was
an
a good
option.
solution. Yeah. I mean, and moderation always works to some degree.
If you can do
if
it.
you can do it, I can't. I can't. I
got a game.
Yeah, I know. It's not. I didn't say I made good decisions,
True.
but it's a decision I've made.
Play Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Super
that's
chill game for your hands.
well. It sounds like you
It
can't do a
is.
diagonal line in that game, and it's challenging. So
Yeah.
I don't know how easy this is.
Just catch butterflies.
You have to take into account punching the wall and what that does to your hand.
Ooh,
That's true.
Yeah, that ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think this follows up on this one. Great. So hello, Game Informers. I've had a rough weekend, and listening to your podcast and watching replay helped calm me down. You're welcome. Thank you for all the great content. It's been a big help. So we're glad to hear that we enjoy the show. So thank you so much. And I know I'm not the only one positively affected by you during times of stress. Oh, that's really nice. I
That's
hope we are.
awesome.
Sweet,
It
yeah.
is like that's very nice. So I appreciate it. But the question is, are there any games that you play to help calm you down? If not, what are some things you do to relax? Sincerely, Tyler from Nashville. What do you guys do to relax? Leo, what do you do to relax?
Stop playing games usually.
Really?
Yeah.
Then what do you do? Then what do you do?
Watch
YouTube?
TV.
Do you watch TV? I thought you just watched YouTube.
I watch a lot of TV.
Do you watch a lot of TV? What do you watch on TV?
There's a show Patriot that's really good.
that was really good.
Is that on Amazon Prime, Leo?
That's on Amazon
is.
Prime.
Oh, nice. And so you're loving it, huh?
Does nobody talk
Yeah.
about it? And they should, because it's just so good and perfect in 2 seasons, and you can watch it in a weekend, probably.
Probably. It
Yeah.
should be probably the only thing present in our culture that
Yeah.
we discuss.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark if you get into it, but it is good.
It is good.
Yeah, it's affecting. But yeah, Better Call Saul has been good. I like my sitcoms. Honestly, when I'm really feeling low, I rewatch a sitcom I've watched 10 times already, which are 30 Rock,
Nice.
Scrubs, Community, the big three.
Oh, nice. I mean, those are funny shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good shows. All right. Well, that's excellent. Alex, how about you?
I definitely I go the opposite route. I think I play more like Modern Warfare and competitive games to really kind of hammer that stress out. But I will say if I'm just getting my butt kicked the entire time, I always go back to Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the movie with Jason Segel and Kristen Bell. I love that movie, and I don't know why it sticks with me so much, but that's one I'll always put on Chef, the Jon Favreau movie.
Really?
I love that movie so much.
I do too, actually.
And there's just no I mean, obviously the parents are divorced and whatever, and there's some negative stuff there, and he gets spoilers, loses his job, but there's not really a bad part of that. There's not really an antagonist. It's just big guy making food, really good food, and I love that movie. So those are the movies I de-stress
That
with.
movie is I watched it on a plane for the first time, and now I watch it whenever I see it. Whenever it's like shows,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I love that thing.
Yeah.
It's very, man, it just really gets into the passion, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to, and that's
Yeah.
why I really like that movie.
Okay, so do you guys cook? Since you guys are into that movie, are you guys
I mean,
chefs
I'm
as
not
well
a
at home?
chef, but I do cook.
You do cook? I mean, I don't mean like do you
yeah.
bake something in the microwave. Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy cooking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Okay.
speaks to my brain in the same way video editing does, where it's like there's very technical aspects you need to master. There's pillars of that, but there's also creativity and a love in it that I very much enjoy.
What is your signature dish, Alex?
I make a mean chicken pesto pasta. That is very,
sounds
very
good.
good. I really like that. I like some crock pot dishes that I do. Mac and cheese is really good in there, and then pulled pork. But I would say the chicken pesto and then the my chicken parmesan is really good as well.
I make mac and cheese too. I'm really good at it.
Excellent.
Mac and cheese is awesome.
I do it in like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
Excellent work.
When the water's boiled.
Don't watch that
That's
pot.
the key.
Jeff, Cork.
Animal Crossing, clearly.
Yeah, that's
a good go-to.
That's your lifestyle.
Yeah, like typically just like free-form open world stuff. I find that to be super relaxing. Things where there is an option for fast travel because it would be unmanageable otherwise, but then I'll opt out of it. So I like Days Gone. Not a relaxing game normally, but just traveling across the map can be relaxing in a weird way. I think like Death Stranding, I found that to be once you got over that
soothing,
initial
yeah.
hurdle, just kind of being alone and generally games that you could play a podcast with, as you're. As
Yeah,
you're
you
playing.
you like listening to podcasts while
Huge
you
fan.
play. Yeah,
Huge fan.
And you're also too, so people know, and maybe you'll argue with me here, but you like to like play a game and then play another game and then play. You like you like to play a lot of different games. Do you have games that are like a return? Do you have anything that's just in a rotation for you at all? Do you have something that you play constantly, or is it just always something new?
Bouncing around a lot.
Yeah, you bounce around a lot. Yeah.
Overwatch though, right?
It's been a while since I played Overwatch, actually.
Fake fan.
Fake fan, exactly.
I know for a while you were playing with your sons. You were playing some Fortnite. Is that still going on?
Mostly, we've kind of pivoted over to a little bit of Apex Legends and then also some Modern Warfare. Which, to your earlier point about younger players, I'm a proud dad and also like completely blown away at how good he is at that, and it's very envious just because he's got the little kid reflexes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Those fast little eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
It doesn't help that Siege is my forever game, and that is the last thing I should do if I need to calm down.
Yeah.
it's funny. I'm with you on that. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to like. And I know this makes me sound like I'm some kind of mass murderer, but I'm like, I just want to shoot people in the head. Like, it just makes me like, it's a stress reliever, right?
You know,
it's
powerful.
like, and so like, I will do that. I'm gonna play some COD. I'm gonna shoot some people in the heads. This is all going great. Yay! Shot some people, and then the next match, I'm like, I hate you all.
Yeah.
This game, I'm throwing up stuff, and it's like, and I'm like, that was. I mean, I was stressed out. I was fixed, and then now I'm back to where I was.
Yeah.
So I definitely run that. I'm with you on that, like up and down.
But that's how you know you're good, as Ninja said.
Yeah, it's because
You're not losing twice.
Exactly. I get angry. That is for sure. I didn't say that was the right answer. Once again, it's just
deeply ashamed of the things I've done when I die.
Dan.
Let's see. I would say that stressful games are more my norm.
Yeah.
Which is why I love getting the chance to relax with some stuff. Farm Together has been an amazing stress reliever. That game is just so pleasant. There are no fail states. There is no failing. You just hang around with pigs and ducks and chickens and fish and just hang out. There's nothing you can do to lose. You can't lose. There's no I don't have to micromanage anything. It's like the only game where I'm not trying to min-max at all times.
Yeah.
It's just like, it just takes me completely out of it, and it's great to play with friends since it's Farm Together. I'm just like, hey, Steam friends, come on in, help on the farm. And we just hang out. Yeah. And that is that lowers my blood pressure probably fairly significantly after, getting my ass kicked in Dark Souls by some boss for like 30 times.
And there's not an element of like, hey, someone is like plowing over all of my carrots or anything like that. It's super.
I don't care.
Oh.
It's all about it's just great. It's just like, hey, the crowd's ready yet? Nah, that's cool. I'm hanging out by the lake. There's some ducks here. This is really nice.
Yeah.
I just need to pull out a lawn chair and be like, yeah, this is living, right?
Yeah.
That's the state. And I haven't found any other real games that do that. It's sort of the Harvest Moon. I was into Harvest Moon way back in the day.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just haven't been able to get into Stardew Valley. So I'm hoping Animal Crossing can be my next relaxation game.
Oh, nice. Yeah, excellent.
I know we talked about movies, or I talked about movies, but have you ever been to a movie theater alone, or do you guys go to movies alone?
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
I found that to be ridiculously cathartic and just super relaxing. So that's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Even if the movie's not super great.
I saw Uncut Gems. I was in like the 5th row, and it was a pretty full theater, but there was nobody in front of me. So it was basically like I just had a giant movie screen to myself for all intents and purposes, but not relaxing as it turns out. Uncut Gems.
The worst movie to do that with.
I find that like going by yourself too kind of reduces expectations. Like I put a lot of pressure. I'm like, we should see this movie, and then I'm thinking the entire time like, oh boy, my wife, I can tell she hates this.
Yeah.
The worst. Yeah.
And then or if it's like, oh, is there like a post-credit stinger to this thing? I'm just gonna sit and see, and then like, there have been many movies where like my two kids were in tears because they wanted to leave, and it was like, there might be another shot of Spider-Man doing some stupid shit. I don't know.
So we're riding it through. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, there wasn't. Sorry.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
Yeah, I like I don't go to movie theaters often, but if I go, I do go by myself and and I wait weeks. Like I don't watch them on time. I wait like 3 weeks so I know that the theater will be empty.
Yeah.
Like me and a weird couple will be in there.
Do you take
And that's
advantage of
it.
that? Like, because you know you're going to be there like basically alone. Do you like bring in a pizza or something?
No,
I
no.
thought you were gonna ask
no.
him if he like goes naked or something
No.
like that. Just
No.
takes
No.
clothes.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, they don't allow that. Obviously,
Yeah.
they don't allow that.
That was weird because like I always had a hang up about that too, where I was just like, oh, that's like the worst thing you could do is go into a movie theater by yourself, you know?
Yeah.
But it was at DICE one year that Avatar was in the theater, and at that point, like my son had just been born, so it was just like we did not have time to go see stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go see Avatar by myself, and I was like, I am sold on this idea. This is the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just left when I wanted to. It was it was great.
Yeah, it literally took me. My girlfriend and I did distance for a long time, and it took those stressful days to be like, I'm just gonna go see this movie. No one's around to see it. I'm gonna go see it, and I was like, wow, this is wonderful.
Underrated.
Yeah,
And this is no news really, but my stress reliever to some degree is definitely playing WoW because it's not that difficult, and I can complain about it, and I like complaining to me is cathartic. So I have all kinds of mental issues, and that's just one of them.
You sound like every WoW player I've ever met.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that's one of the things. And also, I like riding my bike.
nice.
So those are definitely my stress relievers that get me out and about and do different things. Next question. We're going to skip that one. So last week, we were talking about the first games we played. And one of our readers, Sean from Sydney, said, pretty sure you were talking about Rick Dangerous. And if you weren't, you should have been. And this is a reference to Dan. Couldn't remember what adventure game on 2600 where it was like an Indiana Jones style. We're reliving this a little bit. Indiana Jones style adventure that was like, I'm in tombs, I'm looking around. Couldn't remember the game last week, but it is not Rick Dangerous.
It is not Rick Dangerous. It is Tutankhamun.
Ah, gotcha.
As soon as the show ended, I went and looked up what it was.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, all Atari 2600 games. And I'm like, oh, that's the one.
But I mean, I wish it was Rick Dangerous because Rick Dangerous is a lot cooler name.
I don't think I've played
Yeah.
Rick Dangerous. I don't even know what Rick
I
Dangerous
don't
is.
think that's a real game.
I don't know what it is either, but I love Rick Dangerous. I don't know. It rolls off the
Yeah.
tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I saw Tack right now without knowing his name, I would guess it was Rick Dangerous.
It goes
That's
by
my stage
Richard.
name.
Yeah.
But Sean did have a great question. So, what is the next city you want modeled in GTA? We've had New York and LA, maybe a classic European city or Tokyo. Or if you've ever been to Sydney, the geography here would be awesome. So, what city would you like GTA 6, which I assume they're working on, to be in?
This is long shot stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah, we
what's
can
what you
do
want?
whatever we want, so it can be crazy.
This is
Yeah.
you
All
be
right.
you. What you want?
Duluth, Minnesota.
Duluth, Minnesota.
It is
Yeah.
reasonable size to where they could model the entire thing
Gotcha.
accurately. Hills, which
Yes.
are super fun to drive on. Lake Superior, where you could like throw bodies and do
Yeah.
ragdoll stuff in
Gotcha.
there. It's beautiful. There's also some really gross slummy type stuff. It's, I think, a good city.
It would also
Those are
teach
really
people
good
where
answers.
where Minnesota is and where Duluth is.
And
Probably,
I think it has enough name recognition too. Like people are familiar with the name Duluth, kind of like they might like Bugs Bunny in Albuquerque, for instance.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and they could play up the Midwestern stereotypes, which
There are many.
the coasts like to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. All right. I would not. I never in a million years would have guessed you were going to say that. But
I 100% when
I
you
agree.
said it, I thought it was going to be a joke, but then that was a
Nope.
really good reasoning for that. I like that.
Yeah.
Alex.
This is maybe I grew up Roman Catholic, so maybe this is an extension of that, and also this is where I study abroad. But I feel like Rome could be a really cool story to do like
Bella.
the mafia style, and then you could go to like Sicily, you could go to Florence. There's different spots you could hit up. I don't know. Because there are those grimy parts of Rome too, like just any big city. And
Is there
it
any
would be-
mafia in that area of the world?
No, not one.
Not any?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Our teachers, when I was there, literally told us like, don't joke about that in the streets. I don't know if it was just poking fun at the Americans, but yeah, I think it could be a cool story, and I don't know how much they've gotten into like that specific of the mafia. I'm not a huge GTA person. I know. Chaos.
But I think that's a good choice. I really liked it in Assassin's Creed when they did those like kind of old European
Yes.
cities. They were
Beat
really
up the
great.
Pope.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. How about you, Leo?
Yeah, my impulse was to say like a New Orleans kind of southeastern America vibe, but
Ooh,
that's
I like that.
a little represented in like Red Dead, but still a more modern take on that would be cool.
Yeah. they
Otherwise,
also-
I'd say London, but Watch Dogs Legion's got it covered.
Yeah. And there's a Infamous does a New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right. It does,
And
it does
Mafia
New
3,
Orleans.
Mafia
right?
3, yeah.
Yeah. But New Orleans is always a good city. I think that's a good city. Dan.
Grand Thug 2.
I guess my choice would be Bruges. It's a charming little European city, I think, in Belgium that nobody would know about except for this movie called In Bruges, which is really good. You should
Yeah,
check it
okay,
out.
gotcha.
And it's just like I would love to see that explosive, like, bring in like all these high tech mobsters into like this little quaint
Okay, gotcha.
European city and just blow the thing. There's like complete chaos and like what has been reigned like a city out of time, essentially.
Gotcha.
I think that'd be pretty an interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah,
if
gotcha.
you will.
If
Yeah.
you were to see GTA Online in that small city,
do it.
Just 30 people flying around in jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I mean, I think they should do all the cities. They should just do the Earth, right?
Yeah.
GTA Earth.
GTA Earth.
Go anywhere, all the cities.
I remember seeing in Game Informer's cover story for Grand Theft Auto 5, or maybe just Grand Theft Auto Online, where they're like, we could just add Liberty City to Grand Theft Auto Online. There's nothing
Yeah.
stopping us.
They
Take
haven't done that.
Take your freaking time.
Yeah, yeah, they have been taking their time. Yeah, I don't know what city I think. It's always one of those things I always want to say Minneapolis because I'm like familiar with it,
Yeah.
or like Chicago, like kind of things like. But I tend to agree with Alex a little bit. I like the idea of it going old. Like I like an old world kind of
Yeah.
place. Like I think that would be fun to have that kind of, especially a city that has like an old town and like a downtown. You know what I mean? Kind of vibe. So you can kind of get that just different vibes from the city as you cruise around in it,
That'd be interesting.
right?
I feel like they're going to do Liberty City again, though, right?
It does. I mean, I think the
Was
thing
it-
is that I think they do choose cities, and by the way, I'm making assumptions here, but I think they choose cities that are iconic, right? They want,
sure.
and like, and it's hard to not choose like L.A., London, New York, you know,
Dallas.
you know,
Why not? I mean,
And a new Liberty City would be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
with their the technical leaps they've made since then, like, I wouldn't shake my nose too much at that.
I don't. By the way, we go. Why is it something new? Oh, that's amazing. That's so great. Like it would take all of 3 seconds for us to be
Sure.
like just
Yeah.
fine with them redoing a city that they've done.
GTA 4 was not the definitive Liberty City for all time.
Yeah, I
would
mean,
say.
so they could go wherever they want. Essentially, we'll just be happy that it's a GTA. But it's fun, and Tokyo is a good recommendation as well. It would be kind of
Tokyo
fun to
would
do
be cool.
Tokyo. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool cities.
Wasn't there a rumor that it was going to be Vice City, but then you could fly down to Cuba and then you could go to like Liberty City? Maybe that was just a crazy
Guarma.
reset era thing, but I think I saw that it was like the flight thing was a part of it.
I think we'll say Alex confirmed it.
yeah,
Right there.
that's what I just heard.
Yep.
Tipster.
Yeah.
So when it doesn't happen, be sure to hit me up on social media. That'll be fun.
That sounds interesting, though.
Yeah.
I would take that.
Yeah.
So, hey, gang, enjoying the podcast? I got a question for you. If you could have any companion follow you around in real life, who would you choose? Personally, I think everybody's going to pick dog meat, but surprise me.
Bubsy.
Cheers.
Is that a surprise?
He's
Is
a
he a
hero,
companion?
though.
Market. Yeah, he's my companion.
Wait, so you could say anything as a companion?
He didn't
yeah.
say. He didn't.
Yeah, I didn't say it was. By the way, from Slovakia. So, like, we're blowing up
around the
global.
world.
What's up?
We're global.
The Game Informer show. How's it going?
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's where my
So-
dad's family's from.
What do you guys think? What would you want? My thing, of course, is I wanted Chewbacca as my friend in GI Town, and everyone really got down on me for that. But I'd love to have Chewbacca follow me
Well,
around.
you're coloring history a little bit there. You want him to be your friend.
I know. Okay,
You
I
wanted
know.
to keep him in a cage.
That is what was discussed.
Yeah, it was discussed. But that's not what the intent was. I'm sorry, Chewbacca.
Now's your chance.
He was gonna
See,
be with the other animal, the other non-sentient animals grazing.
I
Trying to make the conversation.
all animals are sentient.
Oh, now we're the bad guys.
Whoa.
Yeah.
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 Now
How,
we're
do you,
the-
how do you feel?
You're
Yeah.
putting a cow
take that.
and Chewbacca are the same.
Yes. And us. All of us are the same. Deal
All
with
right.
it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What do you pick?
Love D-Dog from MGS5.
That's a good
Okay.
one.
He's easy to command. Sit next to me in the car. I like him.
Cork?
How about that blob from A Boy and His Blob?
Oh,
good. You got
that's
jelly
cute.
beans for
Yeah.
him?
Get a ladder whenever you need one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I can't reach that blob.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, just
Boom.
like makes your life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could do everything. That's a good pick.
Dan?
I was unironic when I said Bubsy.
Oh, you?
Oh, really?
I thought you were joking.
I was
Yeah.
serious.
Why?
Because he's just like such a cool dude to be hanging
he's
around.
not.
He's just really chipper. He's really cheery. He's gonna make quips all day. Like I'll walk into GI and somebody will say something, and he'll have a quip ready to go, man.
Yeah.
Like just ready to nail it.
Do you know how many friends you would lose if you had Bubsy hanging around you all the time?
He's the only friend I would need.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrifying, by the
Not
way.
friends
That's
he would
just
lose.
terrifying.
They're friends he's trading in for Bubsy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were they
okay.
really my friends if they can't hang with Bubsy? Come on.
Good point.
That would just be the worst. Alex.
I don't know how I can follow you up sometimes, Dan. I think I'd do Yoshi. You know, I'd be nice to him though. I wouldn't hit him like Mario does.
Yeah.
You could ride him around. He's a dinosaur. Just it'd be cool. And that's my choice.
All right.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good
You'd
one.
break his spine.
Get a big Yoshi.
A big Yoshi.
Jeff.
Okay.
That's just
Sorry.
craziness. Okay.
I love it.
So this question is about so which games have the best traversal? Death Stranding may not be perfect, but for me, the traversal some of the best I've ever played in a game. The fact that it is part of the gameplay and not just a means to get from one point to another really made that game stand out. Same can be said about Days Gone, where traversing using your bike is kind of like a survival game. These games did not get top-notch reviews, but they really made it hard to go back to Witcher 3. The game was great, but controlling Roach sucked booty.
Wow.
Booty. Traveling on foot wasn't that fun either. Would really like to hear your guys' experience with traversal in games. Best regards.
Prototype.
Jose.
Never topped it.
Yeah.
Running up
Wow.
buildings,
Yeah.
gliding around.
That's
Yeah,
true.
It's really
Good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. I forgot about Prototype.
Yeah, you did.
And by the way, this is from Jose in Manila, Philippines. Once again, global GI
Yeah.
show. What up?
Like COVID-19.
Yeah.
Whoa,
COVID-19.
that's
That's a hard one to beat. The Incredible Hulk game too was like
Yeah,
that.
yes.
The Incredible
Love that
Hulk game
game.
was so good
For sure.
And I think everyone loves Spider-Man for the same
yeah.
reason, right?
I was gonna bring up
yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
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 I mean, a good traversal can change a game so much. You spend so much of your time going from place to place.
I think the Assassin's Creed games feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would agree with
definitely.
that. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they do it right, it
Yeah.
definitely is super fun.
Yeah. You bring up Spider-Man. I'm a broken record, obviously, but Sunset Overdrive, the traversal
Yeah.
on that took that from being just a cool, fine shooter to being like something different and more exciting because of that.
Yeah. That was really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it when games have something, which I do think is something I would say is a really positive thing about Death Stranding, was that I like it when they have that kind of engagement that you have to kind of keep going, but also at the same time too, I do like games where it's like hold A and the horse is going to go to your objective, and I can like eat popcorn like while it gets there is also something I like too. So I kind of like both options.
Yeah.
But I also like games too, like you said with Sunset, where you like almost have like a Tony Hawk kind of like doing combos between things that
Yeah.
makes the game more engaging. It all depends on the game.
Yeah.
It's like
definitely.
challenging yourself in Sunset of like, okay, I have to go to this mission. Let's see if I can do it all in one combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, very, very cool. Like, I do think so. What did you think? Because I know you're a huge fan of Red Dead, which I am as well. But like, did you find something like that where like they make the traversal be kind of like an experiential kind of thing? How does that play for you? What do you think of that, Leo?
They tackle it a little differently for sure, because it's not like there's that much to controlling the horse in that game.
Yeah.
But the like realism of the animations make it a little more something you can get invested in and interested in. But for the most part, it's the fact that it's like such a full world of you'll go on your way to do something and do 3 different things on the way, because you'll just bump into these random encounters that are like set up for you.
Yeah, and like it has that thing where like in some games like you can take your horse and your horse can like fling off into the ocean and it doesn't matter. Where like you can make a mistake and you can kill your horse and like Red Dead, and just with like not paying attention, which is a different level of like traversal and have something you have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Coyote scared my horse into a train. Right. It was a real bummer.
That happens. But yeah, I still don't fast travel in that game.
Yeah.
500 hours.
Never
in.
did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't either. I maybe you guys agree with that. I don't know why, but fast travel sometimes really throws me off. Though I want to get places fast. That was the only thing I did want it in that game, because there were times I got a little too far on the like horse riding, but I like that feeling of being there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And getting a sense of the scale.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah.
This is a good day, Andy and cohorts. You guys are cohorts. I have a serious problem when it comes to buying video games more than once when they're cross-gen. I just can't help myself, but I'm trying to buck that trend with the upcoming generation. I think he's saying his problem is he keeps buying the same game over and over again, which we've all been guilty of.
Yeah.
With Cyberpunk 2077 being confirmed for a Series X release, it has me thinking, what other games are yet to be released, and more importantly, those that are already out that will be released for next gen? I haven't purchased or pre-ordered any of these following games yet for my PS4, and I'd like the insight of the GI crew on whether or not they think these said games will be re-released. The games are Control, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Modern Warfare, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Persona 5 Royale, Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Last of Us 2, Doom Eternal, and Neo 2. Which, by the way, great lineup of games.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of really good games. And I think we can't answer your question, but we do want to address that I think one of the things we hope with the next generation is that while you may not be able to, in some cases you would maybe have to buy a second version of that game, but hopefully that through patches, maybe they will make them work, which has been something that's been pointed to, correct? What do you guys thought? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think we need some information about how this is all going to work.
Yeah.
That's really, I mean, I'd love to speculate, but it's worthless at this point from my perspective. I mean, we have to know what they're doing. Like,
But my gut from that list of games you read off, all of them.
I feel like that way too, yeah.
Especially if the pitch for this past generation was more like PC similar architecture, and then that's still the pitch for this next generation.
Yes.
It's like, isn't it going to be easier than ever to remaster games, especially at the start of a new generation when people are hungry for stuff?
Yeah, not like a reworked, but get one. I mean, I feel like every game company out there right now knows to have better assets ready to add to the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to like...
Or they've had them for the PC version
Exactly,
already.
yeah. And so they just have to get them ready and get them over. And those are games that are like, I mean, this list, as you said, these are standards very quickly. And I feel like those standards kind of to some degree are going to make their way to next gen. I mean, I would guess.
The only one that kind of stood out was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It seems like there will probably be another Assassin's Creed.
Like a new one
Yeah.
by then.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, I mean, if we're talking just any time in the generation, like all the Assassin's Creeds from PS3 generation got released this generation again, right?
I feel
Yeah,
like...
they did the Ezio collection. Right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like over
Rogue.
time, eventually you do get them.
They brought Liberation to
I mean, I
PS3
do...
and stuff. Yeah.
I do think it's like if you are not playing these games though, I mean these are good games. If you have some free time and you're looking for games to play, holding out to get the like whatever newest latest version of Control or Star Wars, like I wouldn't wait. I'd go play them now. I mean they're good games, right? And I personally don't know that you're gonna put it in on a next generation platform and be like, oh my God, hair blown back, it's completely redone, because they're not gonna redo the whole game.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's going to be that same game at its core, just with some of the like maybe like the SSD giving you like faster access and some other things like that. But I don't think they're not going to rebuild the game to take advantage of the new hardware.
You won't be saying, thank God I waited.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hard to picture.
My only counter to that is I think something like Control could benefit from that a ton, because I was playing on the X and I had a ton of slowdown, even just like opening and closing menus, which was weird to me and kind of threw it off. So like maybe something like that, more processing power would fix that.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
That's true.
But that's not a reason to me to not play that game right now. But
Slow menus.
yeah.
But that's best regards from Mark. Thank you, Mark. Hopefully we helped you with that. And that is a great list of games. It sounds like what we should be doing this afternoon. All right. So we are going to, I think, I skipped a couple questions there, all really good, but I think we should get to our GI town. It's feeling lonely. It's
is
feeling
it?
very lonely.
I think it's packed. It's growing by the day.
It is growing by the day.
We don't have any bathrooms yet, Tag.
We don't need those.
We don't have a parking lot. We don't have a lot of things.
We just go out near the animal shelter that we made.
We have a bathroom from Silent Hill, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
So, hey, GI crew. GI Town will inevitably need some place for their inhabitants to work out and stay in shape to perform all the duties they have. What five video character... Oh, my gosh. Well, first of all, I need to learn how to read. And number two, what five video game characters would you choose to be trainers at the GI Town gym? Great podcast. Best part of my week. Matt from Austin, Texas. Thank you, Matt. Really appreciate it. So, trainers.
M. Bison.
Ooh.
Okay.
I feel like he'd be terrifying.
It's some tough love there, but I'd get in shape. That's what's important.
And like, I mean, with that hat on,
I mean,
right? I'm doing Japanese Street Fighter.
no, you're doing the right one.
I'm doing the right one, yes.
There's a hat.
We're not talking about. Yeah, I know it's confusing.
Yeah,
we're talking
exactly.
about, we're talking
Boxer.
about Bison, not the boxer.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It would be terrifying. You'd get in shape.
Yeah.
I think that's a good addition.
It's important thing is to get the results, and I think he would get results.
I think you get results.
Yeah.
We Fit Trainer.
Ooh.
It's like right in the
one.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, that is. and that one's also kind of a little bit terrifying too. That's the one that's
Ain't got
just
no
like
face?
yeah. That's
Yeah.
we're definitely we're gonna make people fit. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna be terrified.
Male
the
or
goal of the
female,
gym.
though?
I'm sorry.
Male or female, like you choose in We Fit, as we all know.
Yeah, exactly.
Which one?
Female one, because that's what they made the
That's what
amiibo
it's
of.
fine,
Smart.
Oh, look at that. Good choice. Leo, do you have any suggestions for our trainers?
Who's the Punch-Out guy?
Glass
Oh,
Joe.
no, the guy, no, the guy that like rides the bike
Little
with you.
Mac?
That, like,
Oh.
Yeah.
that like
Doc?
Yeah,
What is his
Doc.
name?
Doc.
Yeah.
I think it's Doc. Yeah, I
Is
think
it
it's
Doc?
great.
God, I'm gonna be.
Rub your shoulder,
Yeah.
make you strong.
I mean, there's a
favorite kind of
guy
flower.
and then that's producing our show that could look on the internet and make us look
Yeah.
smart by making sure we
That'd
get
be
it
nice.
right. Or we can just have it be wrong. We could just have it be wrong.
Yeah, be wrong.
It's gonna be
Just have
totally
it
wrong
be
too.
We're gonna be. They're gonna be
The
like
last time I played that-
idiots.
I played that game 25 years ago.
We did remember Glass Joe though.
Yeah.
There is that.
We could probably name a lot of the characters, but not that
Absolutely.
guy. Sadly, the trainer. That's what I mean. It's just a trainer.
I would
dare you.
I would throw in because I'd want to learn because this town is not real. Because if I got on a skateboard,
What?
Yeah, I know. But if I got on a skateboard in real life, I would kill myself, right? Like I would fall over and hurt myself and like need surgery and all those kind of things. But in this world, like the best way to train for me to get in shape would be to learn how to skateboard from Tony Hawk. Would be like,
But can you pick a?
do you know what I mean? Like
All
that would be
right.
really fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's Tony Hawk, and he's not. He's
He's
not
not
a video game
terrible.
character.
Oh, I guess that's true. But he's in a video
He's
game.
a video game character. As much as
He's
he is
a-
anything.
He's a real. All right.
All right, we
That
can
just-
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna let this one go. This one's okay.
do it.
Thank you. Well, my issue is, do you ever get taught how to skateboard in the gym?
No, but this is.
I would love to
The
live in that world,
X-Gym.
It's
Andy.
the
I would.
GI Gym.
Yeah, that's true.
There are some liberties we could take, and I feel I've been too draconian in the past.
Okay.
So
So we do have a bowl.
I'm gonna let that one go. Yeah, we'll get a
Yeah,
half
it's
pipe
like-
in
is
now
there.
you're being
Gym.
too permissive, though.
Or
You're like,
am
yeah,
I?
let's go smoke all the cigars, kids.
Or we
I
could,
don't- did I do a complete 180?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. We can change it. We can change it to Skatebird, the upcoming skate game with the bird
The skate burb.
They could have a
Excellent.
real negative
and the bird.
presence, though. We don't know what that bird's like.
We don't know.
And
It-
inadvertently
peck your
crushed
eyes
by
out.
M. Bison in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be inadvertent.
Yeah,
Throw his
true.
cape on it.
Yeah.
That's
You-
my throw in. Anybody else have any trainer ideas? Is there an Animal Crossing to fit our Animal Crossing theme for this show?
Oh, yeah. Mac, the dog. He's a little
Mac?
jock. There's a whole, like, archetype of jock characters, and he's, like, really
He's the
excited-
Mac.
He's really excited about exercise.
Really excited.
Okay, that fits.
I feel like we need the trainer who's like for the people who aren't looking to get ripped, who is just nice and who's gonna help you through it. You know what I mean? Like, is that like, I don't know why, but like Heavy from Team Fortress popped in my head. He seems like a jovial big guy who'd help you lift your chain guns up. Dan, don't look like that when I talk.
I mean, hey,
I'm with it.
Just
Okay.
throwing it out there. Is there a nice trainer we could throw in here?
A nice trainer.
Okay.
Ash.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
look! I see what you did there.
That was
Trainer. I see.
That was good.
I see it.
No.
I see it.
Don't give it to me.
Also, you guys
Make me work for it.
How dare you?
Any other trainers? Trainers. We're looking for trainers.
Also, going back to your original conversation, you guys were talking about the trainer in Punch Out, right?
Yes.
Doc Lewis.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
we go.
nice.
Thank you.
There
I'm
go.
excited.
I don't know why it took you so long to remember that.
Yeah.
Took
Who's
me a while.
the guy? Was it Michael Rappaport voiced a guy in GTA 4 who was like a real jockey
Brucey.
dude? Brucey.
Yeah,
Brucey.
Brucey is a great choice.
And you're gonna need a roid guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every kid has one.
Yeah, I
Little
mean,
shot in the
and,
booty.
and oddly enough, Brucey does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a great addition. Oh,
And in GTA Online. He reappears.
this is getting tough. I thought we'd just get to 5 and be done, but
No.
I think there's
a
discussions
world
here.
of trainers.
Are we missing anyone?
Okay, hold on. No, I came back to my idea. Lucio from Overwatch. He's positive. He's skating around. He'll get you in shape. What? Don't. Tack, get out of here.
We're just thinking of nice guys or people with like
Who's
Go
like
nuts,
who is
man.
Well,
athletic ability?
He could
He'll
lead,
get you roller skating around.
spin class.
What
Yeah.
does he scream when he does his super? Like drop this or what
Drop
is
the
it?
beat.
Yeah.
Drop the beat. Is
Yeah.
that it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
he'd
is
be a
like,
good
it's like
spin
yeah, it's like
teacher.
yeah, exactly. He like
Yeah.
puts on the tunes and everybody's
Yeah.
ready to rock.
Pump it
Yeah.
up.
blast you out of the room.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I'm just throwing options. It doesn't
I
have
know
to be
you.
on the
That's
list.
you're just throwing options.
Yeah.
You said it yourself.
Wow, mocked by Dan.
Yeah.
Shocking. It's never
Mocked.
happened before.
I actually think I think we got a pretty good. I think we got a pretty good 5 here. Actually,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I do
I'm
too.
not. I think we don't have to spend too much time on this. I think Brucey's a great addition. M. Bison, and I don't know why I think M. Bison is a good choice, other than it's like oddly terrifying.
He's gonna get it done.
The Wii Fit female,
Of course.
Doc Lewis, that's 4. So then we only really have to fill in that last spot, which Lucio, Ash, Mac from Animal Crossing, and Tony Hawk, which I think Tony Hawk is gone. I think probably Ash to make the joke. The trainer, he's a trainer.
You gotta have the joke.
No, let's forget that ever happened.
It's
You
a
don't wanna
list.
do
You have
that
to have
one?
one throwaway entry that wastes everyone's time.
Yep.
I mean, what do you guys think? What do you want? What do you want out of that? What do you think?
Tony Hawk.
Oh, you were
I-
gonna, after kind of mocking that choice.
I didn't mock the choice. I just wanted to make sure we kept our rule set intact.
Yes.
He mocked my choices.
I
not
did
that
mock
one.
Alex's choices.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Dan Tech is Marcy to your peppermint patty, sir.
Are you did you see how much crap I gave him for Chewy? Are you kidding me?
He does train you in Tony Hawk's Underground 2. It's just one example. In
Yeah.
the beginning, he's training you. So, you know,
Oh, push X to ollie.
skateboard.
Yeah, it's a skateboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's my kind of training. Push X.
There you go.
That's right.
Anybody else, or do we like?
Let's go for it.
You like Tony?
Yeah.
Throw him in.
It'd be a cool gym.
All right. So, when you are in GI Town and you're like, I need to work out, you go to the GI gym, and you talk to Brucey M. Bison, the Wii Fit, kind of scary thing, Doc Lewis, and Tony Hawk.
Perfect.
Get
like
in
it.
shape. Get in shape. Get ready so that your hands don't hurt,
Right.
so you can keep playing games forever and never die.
There you go.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Not in
good
GI
stuff.
Town.
GI
Not in
Town
GI
rules.
Town.
Yeah.
Not in GI
Not a
Town.
legally binding contract.
Not in GI Town. We won't have any of that.
Do you think in GI Town people would go up to Tony Hawk and say, "Man, you really look like Tony Hawk. Do you know him?"
They will.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
I think they 100% they would.
Poor Tony Hawk.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I did want to point out, someone did send in Dan from home of Marky Mark, Dorchester, is that he said we should call the GI Town Gibberty City, pronounced Gibberty. Gibberty City.
Oh, I'm gonna have to say no on that one.
City was his recommendation.
Jason.
This is perfect.
Gibberty.
best.
Gibberty. So I just want to point that out with Mayor Rick Dangerous, right? In Gibberty City.
We actually did establish the mayor while you were gone, I think.
Oh, did you? Who's the mayor?
We
I don't
did. We did
remember.
get a mayor. It was the Sims guy.
Mr. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I would agree with that. I kind of like the idea of Brucey running this town just because.
Oh boy.
No, but that's great. I'm glad we have a mayor already. That's important stuff.
Yep.
One of these days we'll put all the segments together so you can just
Yeah.
get town after town part all together. It'll be great, and you'll never listen to it. It'll be fantastic. So we've been doing this. People have been wanting to rename it, but we've been doing this Kiss, Marry, Kill game with games. People send in some options for us to go through, see how we feel. I think there's some good choices this week, so I want to thank everybody. I also one of our readers stationed in Hawaii, Ian, is basically said we should change the thing to keep, offload, delete.
Well, that's two negatives though instead of two positives.
Oh.
True.
We're saying the keep would be marry, offload would be kiss,
Right.
and delete would be kill.
But offload is
Still
sort of
getting rid of it.
it's negative instead of kiss is good. Offload is bad.
Okay.
And also,
Depends on the kiss.
it's a little, we're just ranking them like best to worst, right? There's
Yeah.
no real twist to it.
Yeah, there's no real. Oh, wait. I mean, obviously, it's not the most suspenseful game of all time, but it does. I think we're gonna go with. I think we're gonna keep it.
I
at
want
this
to
for now.
kiss.
Yeah, you want to kiss.
Yeah.
You want to kiss. All right. Well,
Let me kiss.
it's coming. It's a coming. All right. So, hi GI crew. Hope you're having a good day. Here are my suggestions, and these are from Adam in Chicago. So thank you, Adam in Chicago. He's got. He gave us. By the way, thank you, Adam. There are 15 on here. We are not doing all 15. I
Kill
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
So
They'd kiss you.
I made some choices of what I feel to be the greatest hits
Okay.
out of the 15.
we
And
go.
so we're going to start off with side-scrolling beat-em-ups.
Ooh.
Okay.
Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Double Dragon,
Sure.
Oh, brother.
Kiss,
Yeah.
Marry,
This was easy.
Kill. It's easy, Dan.
For
All right,
me.
all right. Let's hear it, Mister. It's easy.
Marry Final Fight. Kiss Streets of Rage.
Yep.
Kill
Ah,
Double Dragon.
nailed it right there.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Double Dragon. Just that. Just
Bye-bye.
Double Dragon
Yeah,
is
yeah.
exactly what it's an archaic relic of the past.
Yeah.
Wow.
Enjoy it, but the
Yeah.
other two games are vastly superior.
Absolutely.
Leo.
Triple kill.
Wow.
Killing spree.
Oh my god. just the bloodbath here, Alex.
I don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You're
I'm
abstaining?
gonna be polygamous, and I'm gonna
breaker.
kill. I'm gonna kill or marry them all.
You can't do that.
Oh, all right.
Can't do
well,
that.
That's not the game, Alex.
all
Just,
right.
just,
Kill 'em all,
just
man.
kill it. Just do the same thing. Kill them all.
Let's see. Streets of Rage. We did an NGT for the sequel, so go watch that. So we're gonna marry that one. We're gonna kiss Double Dragon to go against Dan, I guess, and then we'll kill Final Fight.
Alex, I gotta ask, have you played any of these games?
I played Streets of Rage 4 for the NGT that we
Yeah,
did.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
I played,
so no.
I think I played. I think I played Double Dragon in Up Down for like 10 minutes.
Okay,
so
that counts.
There you go.
All
Double
right.
Dragon Neon, amazing soundtrack. That gets some points. Well, I kill it.
Okay, guys, just can't, I'm gonna go the opposite, and not to spite you guys. Literally,
Yeah.
not to spite you. Double Dragon is the worst of those three games. I will admit, but
Yes.
I also think it's the one that if they made a really great modern version of it, it has the most upside and could be the most interesting of them all.
I agree, but it doesn't exist right now.
Oh, just
Do you like a Bobo a lot or something? Like
yeah.
what? That's what is there? What is there to like about Double Dragon?
It's Double Dragon. It's got dragons. And there's two of them.
Well,
It's their double dragons.
That is an argument I can't
Times the
beat.
Dragons.
That's what I would do. So I don't know.
Ruzzle, Fruzzle.
All right. So, fighting games resurrected this gen.
Yep.
That's what he gave. He gave. By the way, it was very handy. By the way, Adam, that you put little like headlines on here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. So there are the top end fighting games at which you can go through. This is not about those. This is like kind of that next tier. Sorry to these games, but Killer Instinct, Samurai Showdown, and Soul Calibur.
Are we grading these on the franchise completely or just the current gen because of what he said?
To remind all out there that this game is about like what you would like. It's not that you would marry that specific game. It's like this is the game.
Okay.
If you were a game company,
Yep.
you would invest in. You would make a great one of these. Your AAA game would be your top choice. Your Mary. Your Kiss would be the game. Like I'm gonna do something with it. Maybe it's an indie game. It's like it's
Fool
not your.
around.
I'm not gonna make the biggest
Yeah.
investment in this game, but I'm gonna do
Fool
something
around.
with it. Yeah. And then the final one is Kills. Like I ain't making that game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's helpful clarification.
Okay, so it's like you don't. It's not these. This is not a competition directly between these. It's
Right.
these franchises.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
the franchises.
Got it.
So, anyone want to step up? I'll step up if no one wants to step up. Anyone?
Give them to me again, and I'll go.
All right. Killer Instinct, Samurai Showdown, Soul Calibur.
All right. Marry Soul Calibur, Kiss Samurai Showdown, Kill Killer Instinct.
Wow.
Damn it! That's exactly.
Wow, you two.
Yeah, or simpatico. Well, like one of these is like very clearly it's a mercy killing.
You really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Killer Instinct was all sizzle, no steak, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some people are really into that. I never clicked with it for whatever reason.
Yeah, they introduced the new one in that kind of that weird way where you kind of got characters over time. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of an interesting take, but I think it was off-putting a little bit to me.
Yeah, it was a great revival of a series that I just never. I think it was a definite time and place.
Yeah. Leo?
Marry Samurai Showdown, kill Soul Calibur,
Wow.
kiss Killer
Wow.
Instinct.
Really?
I played each of them for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Really?
That's an interesting list though. That's controversial.
Samurai Showdown is cool to watch.
I love Samurai Showdown actually, and I'm gonna hop in here to see like I love Samurai Showdown, and I know there's big Soul Calibur people, I know there's big Killer Instinct people, but I absolutely adore Samurai Showdown. I've actually been playing it a little bit recently. The newer one, I have great fond memories. I used to destroy my friends in that game. I used to invite them over and they'd be like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I want to play Samurai Showdown. They're like, oh, this sounds interesting. And I would just crush them and their dreams and everything about them. And I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Who's your main?
I believe it was Hanzo at the time.
Yeah.
But it's like I was at a time I was good at I was like I used to do the whole thing where like you can pick.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
Who do you want me to be?
Very
you,
nice.
You
Yeah.
tell
Choose your
me,
instructor.
That's
and,
bold.
and I will still crush you.
Yeah.
I was good at Samurai
Yeah.
Showdown.
Wow.
What's the name of the little creep with the glove? Who was that?
Claw.
Oh, Genji maybe, or what was his
Yeah.
name?
Hanzo and Genji both?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we're onto something.
I can't remember what was
Yeah.
his name. You know,
I
but
don't remember
I
it.
think
He-
Winston.
He would lick it.
Tracer.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
disturbing.
That guy
yeah,
ruled.
yeah. But I'm with you. I would do that, and I would do
Yeah.
Soul Calibur as my kiss, and I would unfortunately I would kill Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were tempting fate by naming it that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
should've
unfortunate.
thought ahead to
it's
this game.
unfortunate. You guys have any input? You guys have a version?
I
Alex?
guess the only one I've played is Soul Calibur. I liked it as a kid because they got like Darth Vader in there, and that was cool. So I'll marry Soul Calibur. I'll kiss Killer Instinct because I played it once, and then I'll let Samurai Showdown drift off into the night.
Oh, wow.
Rude.
Yeah, that's pretty rude, actually.
Yeah, that is very rude. That is very rude. And
Peacefully.
And he just poured his heart out to you, Alex.
I know, and he's like, I would kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Really appreciate it. This would be number 12 in his list. I don't even know why I brought that up now. But Sneaky Sneakers is what he puts here. So Tenchu, Dishonored, Sly Cooper.
What?
This is not what I thought this category would be.
No.
This is so out of my wheelhouse
All
this
right,
week.
let's do this. Kiss Tenchu, marry Dishonored, and kill Sly Cooper.
Wow.
Wow. What did Sly Cooper do to you?
Nothing. That's the problem.
Oh, wow. Since some people that don't have input, I have input. Dishonored, I absolutely adore Dishonored. Is one of my favorite games, like, of all time. So I definitely marry Dishonored.
Yeah.
And I used to have a very fond relationship with Sly Cooper, and Tenchu has made me angry very, many times. So I will actually happily execute Tenchu and kiss Sly Cooper
fair.
and,
Yeah.
and call it a day.
Give it poison rice.
Yeah,
you got-
exactly.
That's right.
Stab it through the wall. No, I agree with Tack. It seems like we're
Wow.
yeah.
That's,
He nailed it.
Are you just don't want to play the game and you're just saying that with every single one?
No, I would agree with someone different if that were the case. But he is going first. Never mind. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I get the advantage.
So next time, by the way, you have to answer before Dan.
All right,
The next,
all right.
the next
Yeah,
one, you have
for
to
sure.
because that's the way this
Yeah,
the
that's
game's
fair. Let's
going to
do
be
it.
played.
Right on.
Leo?
Kill Tenchu, kiss Dishonored, marry Sly Cooper.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Sly
got a-
Cooper, it's great games.
Yeah, it is a great game. They are great games.
Got a good range on this one.
And Alex, you're like, I haven't played these games. Let's move on.
My favorite style out of all of them is Dishonored. I love the steampunk, so I'd marry that. I think Sly. I mean, it's just gonna be Andy's list. Kill Tenchu. I like Sly. Kiss Sly though.
Yeah, soft kiss.
Yeah.
So which of the three people at this table kiss Mary? I'm sorry. That's just, never mind. That's a really bad idea. Okay.
Kill Dan Tack.
I mean, yeah. I already know which slot I was getting.
So thank you, Adam, again for that list. We're going to do one last one here, which
right.
is, hey, Andy, this is Daniel from Arlington, Texas. Kiss, marry, kill. This is a tough one, I think, for a lot of people. Maybe not this panel. I think it's an interesting take on this panel. We probably have to revisit this one when I have Kim and Joe on the table here. But Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Persona.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get so much crap for this one.
You're going to get crap
Yeah.
for this one. You're welcome.
This is a
You're
tough
welcome.
one.
All right, Cork.
I'm not
You
first.
cannot.
Yeah.
Cork has to go first.
I will say, I will, just because I'm only really familiar with the spin-off series that I really like, the Dragon Quest builders. I will kiss Dragon Quest. I'll marry Final Fantasy, and Persona. It's like killing a stranger. I've only spent 20 hours on Persona 5. So yeah,
Just to watch it die.
just to watch it die.
All
Yeah.
right, so there you go, Leo.
Kill Dragon Quest.
Oh,
That's the only easy one.
That's the only easy one.
Oh.
Yeah. Kiss Final Fantasy, marry Persona.
No. All right.
Oh.
All right. I like it when we get the gambit here. Dan, you're last.
I know.
Alex.
Bad.
I'm gonna I'll kiss Dragon Quest, marry Final Fantasy, and kill Persona. Same with
Wow.
Cork. I don't know.
This
I
Alex guy gets
never played it.
Once again, just people just I don't know, kill it.
He just alphabetized it. Basically.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And I know, Dan, you like Persona. You're a
I
big
do.
fan.
I do, yeah.
And I know you've played yourself some Final Fantasies. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, are you a Dragon Quest guy?
Yes, I am.
Oh, this is great. All right, what do we got? What do we got?
So here's what
Are you
we're
going to
do.
say exact same thing as Cork?
No.
Okay.
We're going to marry Persona. We're going to kiss Dragon Quest and kill Final Fantasy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There it is.
Wow. I'm so sorry because you are
I
going to
know.
be. People are going to come after
I'm
you
ready
for
for
that.
it. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, we made you do predictions. We made you kill Final Fantasy.
That I did not expect. That was a good
this
one.
Is,
That's a good one.
That one was definitely a good one. And we had others that sent in your other choices, but I am trying to keep this podcast somewhat on track. Hopefully. Trying.
Yeah.
Leo's looking at me like, you damn well better.
doing
You
great.
damn well better. Okay.
We're under 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're under 2 hours. It's kind of amazing. I was feeling like we were getting a little late. And it's funny because last week I kind of ran through this stuff and someone put in a comment on YouTube because I read the comments, like point that out. They're like, it was very frantic in the end and it made me nervous. And I was like, oops. That's not good hosting when I make everyone freaked out. So I didn't want to run through these, so hopefully it went better this week. But thank you all for your input, for your questions. It was a lot of fun. I always enjoy that game. It's always fun working on the town. So once again, send in your questions to podcast@gameinformer.com. Please like our stuff, hit the bell,
Please like our stuff.
follow, tell people, yeah, please like our stuff. It's free. It's free.
It is
I'd
free.
like to point that out.
You have to like stuff that's free, right?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, free's good, right? There's no microtransactions here, though you could go to our merch store and buy something. But like that's not really, it's not
Amazing.
required.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could sub to the magazine.
Ooh.
You could do all those kinds of things.
I think I'm going to do all that.
You can
I'm
do
gonna
all
that
that?
right after listening to the show today. Thanks,
Wow.
Andy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so great. That's so
I'll
great.
call now.
Don't wait.
So enough with the salesmanship. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, whatever you do.
Division 2 expansion's good.
Oh,
Shouts out.
no, that's good. You know what?
Just want to get that in there.
We
I think that's a
streamed
good-
it for
that's a good-
5 hours.
No.
Yeah, the
it-
newest new gameplay today live with Division 2 is some of my favorite stream we've ever done.
And you're a
Yeah,
huge fan of the
recommend it.
series, and you're really enjoying Division 2, right?
It's cool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
excellent. That's a good call out. Good
Also,
call out.
Leo and I bonded a lot in that stream, I feel like.
Aw.
So,
Yeah.
if you like
He
friendship.
does feel like that.
You know what? I think he would marry Leo after he killed. That's what I think. That's just a guess.
Aw.
But I think if we made him pick at this table, that's what I think. That's what I think. This is-
I'd kill you all. Good night, folks.
Good night. See you later.